Hello everybody and welcome back to Aranthea's Awakening, a D&D 5e actual play Twitch stream. Kyle is dead. Amazing. I am your host and DM Arch. With me as always is Kyle.
I'm dead. I don't know who I'm playing.
Nope. We have Neil.
Hi. I play Isla.
Yes, you do. And you're misaligned on screen because you moved again. God damn it.
I didn't move.
You did. No, you did, because you were leaning back in your fucking chair.
Yeah, I certainly was, because we hadn't started yet at that point.
God damn it. All right. And we now have a face to the ghost. It's an internet ghost Onyx, no longer a ghost.
That me. Yeah, I'm Onyx. This is me, no longer internet ghost.
This is my face.
me. Join.
Hi.
Yep.
I don't know if I still believe it. I think this is a paid actor.
Well, then the paid actor is the same actor that Arch and Neil already met.
Yep.
Anyway, I play Zai, Dragonborn fighter.
Yep.
Who has one companion because the other one died.
Yep. I think we said Neil. Who are you playing? Just
Isla.
who's Ilo?
He's a chef.
Oh, cool. Sounds like a cool guy. All right. So let me get some music going.
Lizards only. Only Lizards Club.
That's true at this point. No hair at the very least, because we also have a diva.
So, last time, which was 2 weeks ago, it's been a little bit, you guys had basically prepared yourselves to go engage with the spooky butler who had been used as a instrument against the Lord and Lady of the Keep in the Freelands. You all decided to forego taking a rest of any sort and just go deal with the problem directly and try to deal with it as best as you can. You had the key, you had the way in, you just needed to go in. It seemed that there was a trap of some sort set on the cellar door as soon as you guys had put in the key. There was a entertaining loop of you guys essentially having strange visions and needing to find ways to break the visions. There was a lot of amusing moments where you were touching people who were trapped in their moments while you had broken out, and a chain of I'm gonna keep poking the person until something happens, and not realizing that each time you poked them, a minute would pass.
Isla would have aged 5 years if you guys would.
I think we'll start that first.
Something like that, yeah. Eventually, all of you, including Faith, were able to break out of the trances after learning a little bit about Faith's past in her vision, and it seemed like there was something going on there. Coming out of the visions and freeing everybody, you also found that you now had marks from a few of the deities in the realm. Namely, Eli had the god of earth, Ilo had the god below, and Zai had the god of fire. And most peculiarly was that Faith seemed to have a mark of the god of air, whereas she is a cleric of the god of water. You all proceeded down and engaged in a very long and bloody battle against the cursed butler who had become a floating specter. During the fight, Faith had several issues casting her spells. It seemed like there was a identity crisis going on there. You were able to successfully defeat the butler, but in the process, Eli unfortunately was struck down and brought back as a specter to fight the party. You all then re-dead. You turned him from undead to re-dead.
Oddly, it was Faith who didn't want to re-kill him. Isla and I were perfectly fine with it.
Yep.
I was like, it's his body. Stab, 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 stab.
Pretty much. And that is where we ended. The 3 of you are currently standing in this cellar. There is the body of Eli bloody and broken at your feet. Immediately you see Faith going, "Oh no, 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 no! I can fix this. Oh god, And she drops to her knees in front of Eli's body. What are you two doing?
Has she started doing anything yet?
She appears to be rummaging around in her bag.
At Faith, what exactly are you planning over there?
Hold on. I'm trying to bring him back. I can do it. I can bring him back. Just I need to find where the fuck is it? Fuck! And you see her like frustratedly digging around in her bag.
If trying to do magic, you should probably pray to the god of air this time. You're marked by it. I think it might work better than what you're doing earlier. I think we're probably only going to have one chance at this.
She gives you an angry glare, and you can see that there are tears in her eyes that are beginning to streak down her cheeks.
Faith, you're marked by the god of air. Just deal with it.
I can do this. I've got it.
You're gonna have to trust us on this one.
She just turns away and goes back digging through her bag. And after a moment, she lets out pulls out a decent-sized diamond, roughly half the size of her fist. And she places it atop Eli's body and begins chanting. Are you guys doing anything?
Who does it sound like she's praying to in this chant?
Uh, do you know Celestial?
I do not.
Then you do not know.
I'm really gonna hope then.
Maybe you should just have faith.
Stop it.
Listen, I needed to get that one out there at some point.
No, you really didn't, but okay.
Ilo, what are you doing?
Observing. Not much I can do to help. I'm not like gonna go loot the room right now or anything, so.
Right.
I'm probably gonna kneel on the other side of Eli's corpse, body, specter thing, whatever.
It's a corpse.
No, it's a corpse body specter thing.
Sure. So she begins chanting, and after a few seconds, there is a glowing light that seems to come from nowhere. You guys are in a cellar, so there really shouldn't be any light streaming in other than from the door you'd left open, or the hatch. But there seems to be a light originating from nowhere in particular, and you watch as this light streams down on Eli's body. You see the body beginning to glow brighter and brighter. You see the diamond crumble and turn into a fine sparkling powder before it seems to be sucked up in a whirlwind above the body and dissipate into the light that is encompassing the body. There's a brief moment where the light just holds and then vanishes abruptly.
So, does anything happen?
You see Faith kneeling there looking at Eli's body, and she's staring at his face, and her hair kind of is like down in front of her face, so you can't really see too many details right now. She just seems to be staring at at Eli's face.
Seeing that, I'm just gonna look back down at Eli's face and I'll stare too. Because this is what he wants to wake up to if he does.
I'm beautiful.
just look at me.
Here I am.
Eli, wake up. Eli.
You sit there for a few moments, whispering at Eli, and you watch Faith stand up, take out her hammer, and with a heave of and a furious grunt, you watch as she takes the hammer and slams it into the ground, off to the right of Eli. And you watch as it embeds about an inch into the stone floor, and you watch her run to the hatch and climb up. and you can hear her metal boots slamming across the stone floor above, and you hear what sounds like the slamming of a door.
Like the cellar door?
Yeah.
The hatch or the door to the storage room?
The door to the storage room.
Okay.
And you hear the footsteps receding.
I poke Eli.
There's no response. The body seems cold and lifeless. There's no breathing. There's no color returning.
Isla, go find her.
Yeah, she'll need some help back in probably with the doorknobs and all that.
Yeah, that's exactly what I meant. So go find her, see if you can bring her back here, okay?
Okay.
And I'm gonna try something incredibly stupid. I'm gonna do CPR.
Alright, make a medicine check.
Okay. Where's medicine? Medicine is not on my sheet. There it is. It's
You just didn't want me watching you kiss.
Pretty much. That's exactly what it is.
I'm mad
Eli,
now.
Eli, my love.
You robbed me of the ability to make jokes.
I'm keeping this one even though it was to myself. I'm sorry. It's a 19.
That's fine. CPR on a corpse still makes for a corpse.
Dang it.
Sorry to say, you apply CPR to Eli's corpse and you watch the chest rise as you breathe into it.
What if
but
she's breathing?
there's no response. Ilo, you are pursuing Faith?
Yeah.
What is your movement speed?
30.
Okay. You climb up the cellar. The door is currently shut. As you open it up, you can hear her footsteps receding. I need to... Actually, no, because I have the fucking map. I have my own version of the map, which is the correct version.
The correct... What do you mean correct version?
There's a real map?
Yeah, it's the one that I have drawn
I think it's on paper, though.
It is on paper.
Version, implying that mine's not absolutely correct and flawless.
I mean, it's good. It's not great. You hear her footsteps receding down the hallway into the kitchen, and you hear the door slam in the kitchen as well as she runs through there. Are you gonna continue pursuing?
Yeah, only because she shouldn't be running around this crazy place.
Okay.
There's nothing I can do back there, so I might as well just try to at least maybe not even like catch up. Maybe I'm just at this point trying to watch her.
Alright. You continue pursuing her, keeping like a little bit of distance, I'm assuming then? I mean, it's kind of hard to really gain ground on her, being that she's as fast as you.
Yeah, if she slows down, like, I'll catch up.
Okay.
But I'm not overexerting myself necessarily to try to catch up with her.
Okay.
I'm more just like keeping an eye on her until she stops running.
Hey, Arch.
Hi.
Is Simon still here? Or
I'm
Abel?
going to address that in a second.
Okay, because I my defibrillator.
Oh my god. Kyle, don't look so sad. So you continue pursuing Faith, and you run into the main entryway, the main foyer of the keep, and the front gates are wide open. You can see Faith running through the Barbican off in the distance, and you actually hear behind you footsteps coming down the stairs. Similarly, metal-booted ones, you hear tunk, tunk, tunk as they come down the stairs behind you.
Oh, that's more important. Faith, I might be running away too in a second, so like Faith can just keep going.
All right. So what are you doing?
I'm gonna hide from the sound.
Okay. Make a stealth check. I'm gonna tell you it's gonna be very difficult to do because there's not really much to hide behind in this room.
1 second. 15.
Okay. I need to get one of my dice. Come here. Ooh. Okay. So you try to hide in one of the corners, like one of the shadowy corners of the room. And, looking at the stairs, you can actually see that it's the Lord and Lady. The lady just didn't make any footsteps because she's a ghost. And you watch them come down the stairs, and, like, they watched you try to hide. You actually see a slight tinge of amusement on the lady's face. It's a little bit harder to tell on the Lord's face because it's kind of skeletal features a little bit. Doesn't really have, like, muscles as much. And they just come down the stairs, and they seem to be, like, looking at you and then looking around the foyer as if for the first time.
I'm gonna scamper over there once I realize it's them.
As you approach, the lady looks down at you and says, "It is done then? We are free.
Think so.
We felt the change in the land, in the keep. We
And I
were
would say so.
able to leave our room. Where are the others? There's something we must do before we go."
Well, one of them is running off. She tried to bring back our friend. He's gone. And I don't think her spell worked. And other one is still down there with him.
I see. I am sorry. We are sorry. There is something we would do as a final payment. Thank you for freeing us. Please, bring your friend here.
Okay.
Do
And
not
I will run
take long.
back. Yeah, I'll run back.
Alright, you run back to the cellar. Zai. Abel is still there, floating there. He appears to be like a very deep blue, almost purple color right now.
Okay, Abel, I need you to shock him.
You
If
watch.
you stack enough damage, it's gonna enter negative.
No, he's the defibrillator. Don't worry, it'll work.
You roll me a d20.
Just keep damaging him. That'll do it.
You watch as Abel floats above Eli's body, and you see a jolt of electricity come down into the chest. You see the electricity course through the body, and the body seems to jerk and spasm for a moment before dropping back down.
Didn't look like it did anything at all useful.
It looks like it shocked the nervous and muscular system. Oh.
Do I run in?
Please tell me Ilo's back.
Yes, Ilo, you climb down, and you see Abel floating above Eli's body, and Zai kneeling in front.
Like smell the electricity and the smoke. What are you doing? No, come bring in.
Okay. Anyway, I'm going to activate that.
Add your con mod to your strength, athletics, and acrobatics ability checks. For 24 seconds.
So Ilo, you see Zai's body like start glowing and runic lines all over the place, and then he just reaches down and throws Eli over his shoulder.
I mean, Eli doesn't weigh that much.
Well, I know, but I don't want to fail this.
He's a frail old man. No, I'm not gonna make you make a roll for this.
And now it's for flavor because I need to carry things.
It is cool. I do like that flavor. You throw Eli's body over one of your shoulders and climb back up with Ilo, following him into the main foyer. And you see the Lord and Lady standing / floating in the middle of the room. And they turn to look at both of you, and the lady says, I am sorry for your friend, but we have not much time, and we would like to repay you for freeing us, for freeing all of us. And you see Abel float across, over your shoulder and hover next to the lady. Please, follow me. And you watch them step out into the courtyard and make their way towards the one of the guard towers. Are you guys following?
Yes, definitely.
Yeah.
All right. You follow them through the through one of the front walls and up into one of the guard towers. And following the ramp up, you make your way to the very top of this tower, where there is a slightly larger window to look out upon the bluff below. You can see down below you the open sands and plains of this area. And very far in the distance, you can barely see the ocean on the horizon. And you see the Lord and Lady turn to you, and they hold out their hands to each other and seem to grasp them. And standing hand in hand, she turns her head towards you and says, We have a departing gift we would give to you who would free us. Perhaps you can avoid the mistakes we made and bring this land to a better time. Thank you. And you watch as the Lord, his body begins to seem to crumble and wither. You watch as this purple and red swirling aura seems to build around his body and flow through his decayed arms, through his skeletal gauntleted hands, and flow into the lady. You watch as his body begins to wither more and more as this energy seems to flow from him into her. You watch as she begins to close her spectral eyes and starts chanting in a unfamiliar language that seems to ring some sort of discordant bell in the back of your minds, like it's something that was once spoken frequently among everybody but seems to have been lost to the ages. And as she begins to chant, there seems to be a wind that begins to howl through the tower and outside as well. You hear it seem to swirl and build in power. The wind gathering strength. You feel the ground beneath you. You feel the tower begin to shake and tremble. And as you look out this window, you see that the wind begins to buffet and sweep across the desert below at the base of this bluff. And as you watch this wind begin to kick into a full-fledged sandstorm, you see what appears to be vague outlines beginning to form in this sandstorm. And turning back, you watch as the Lord, his body crumbles to dust. The armor he was wearing crumple and fall in a pile before it too turns to ash and dust and begins to scatter. The last of the energy that he had in his dying moments passing on to her. You watch her body as well begin to slowly vanish from sight, from the bottom up, as she continues to chant louder and louder. And as the rest of her begins to fade from existence, the chanting still echoing throughout this tower, the sandstorm outside begins to abate. And as you look outside, you see before you a sprawling city in disrepair at the bottom of the bluff. The city itself appears to be several miles in any direction, with winding streets of cobbled stone weaving between buildings made of wood and stone. You notice that the city seems to be divided into 6 sections, with a large cathedral at the center of each of these districts. The architecture of the buildings in all districts seem to differ from building to building. Some seem to resemble your standard Elvish architecture, smooth, curved buildings with hints of nature or arcane styles to them. Some appear to be the work of dwarves made of thick stone with intricate carvings etched into them. There are other racial architectures mixed about, some you all recognize, and many that you don't. The entirety of the city appears to be severely damaged. You can see trickles of sand still spilling off the roofs of several structures. Erosion has worn away at most of the buildings, but their foundations appear to be still somewhat sound, at least from afar. As you view this spectacle, you see a gathering ball of dark energy that seems to build at the top of one of the nearer cathedrals. After a moment, it cascades skyward in a pillar of black. It holds there for a few seconds before seeming to be reabsorbed into the top of the cathedral. And even from this distance where you are, you can see that there appears to be someone standing atop the cathedral spire. What do you guys do?
Are they still chanting?
They're gone. And Zai, as you look back, you see Abel, this floating ball of red light. And it floats over in front of you and seems to brush against your cheek. And it feels warm to the touch. A little staticky, but warm. And then you watch as the bottom of Abel begins to slowly turn into a red dust and dissipate.
As he disappears, with one hand I want to catch the dust, the other hand I just want to, pet him before he disappears. And a single tear is gonna fall down Zai's face.
Abel disappears. In your hand, you have a small handful of red dust of
Adding
some
it to
sort.
my inventory because I'm keeping it with me. Red Abel dust.
Categorize it as a handful of will-o-wisp essence.
I'm keeping red Abel dust, but I'll put it in parentheses.
Party
fine.
popper, glitter, confetti.
Oh no.
Red Abel dust, got it.
Yeah. What are you guys doing?
So there's a person standing on top of a tower with a giant ball of dark energy.
The dark ball of energy is gone. There is now a person standing on the top spire of a cathedral in the city. One of the nearer ones.
I think we should probably go check out who that is. Might be Faith.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
not
I'm gonna-
really good at this stuff, so.
Well, I don't know what else we could do. May as well. And I'm just gonna start walking out.
Okay, I have no clue what's going on, though.
Yeah, me either.
Both of you make a quick perception check for me.
19.
4.
Ilo, you don't see anything. Zai, as you're about to walk away from the window, you do see a figure wearing some heavy armor that glints in the sunlight. It's the only reason you catch it. Looks like a bluish-purple tiefling. And you see them in the distance running into the city before disappearing around a corner.
I will now be walking much faster, going, I don't know, that's not Faith up there. We need to go see who it is. I just saw her running into the city.
Where is she running?
I don't know, but I kind of think we need to find her and figure out who that is. Whoever it is, they weren't there a little while ago.
Well, as long as there's someone we can ask what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, that would be real nice. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to be that easy. I'm not snorting the magic dust.
Amazing. Alright, so you guys are going to make your way into the city? Towards the cathedral?
That's just the most messed up drug that there could be in a D&D game, snorting the dust of...
A will-o-wisp?
Will-o-wisp.
God,
I feel like it would kill me.
That's extreme.
Alright, so the two of you make your way back down the tower and out through the Barbican, making sure to avoid the tripwire that had previously plummeted you guys into the nasty-ass stagnant river, or moat. Making your way back out into the central courtyard, where you see the familiar blacksmith that you had entered in previous, the barracks, the warehouse, brewery, the granary, the stables, and all that, walking past all those. And make your way out through the main gate and follow the path down into the city. Making your way through the... I was about to say making your way downtown. Walking fast. God damn it. Onyx is not having any of it. So you guys make your way through into this city, following the roads towards the cathedral. No, it seems like no matter where you are in the city, there's at least a cathedral in sight. And you make your way towards this cathedral that you had seen the dark energy come out of. As you make your way through these winding streets, observing the buildings around you, of various makes and designs, signs and lettering and writing long since faded away from the sands and being buried for who knows how long, you make your way towards this cathedral. As you approach, you can see that the cathedral appears to be made of a darker, gray, almost black stone material, spanning a few stories high. As you approach the cathedral, you see above the main entryway, which is this large gate, you see a familiar symbol above the door. Looks like that of the god below. Ilo, you especially would recognize this, being that you now have a symbol of him on your body.
I have that.
Yeah, you do. So, let's let you go first for this. Maybe it'll turn out better that way.
Okay.
You guys are gonna go in?
I'm not doing drugs in the church.
Snort the dust of dead children in a church. This is why our cleric is running from us.
It would be almost as bad as the time I set children on fire.
Oh god, we don't talk about that one. So you guys are gonna make your way inside, or
I'm gonna go inside first,
right,
and assume that Zaya's right behind.
Yeah, I am.
You open the door to the cathedral. It takes a little bit of pushing. You probably need Zaya's help just to get them open. There's a lot of sand in the joints, and probably hasn't been opened for a very long time. And pushing the door open with a loud... You step into this cathedral. There is sunlight streaming in from the windows on the left and right side. Large, beautifully stained glass windows. And there appear to be several pews, several rows of seats leading up to this main altar with a symbol of the god below on the base of it, with a large rack of candles that look to have not been burned or used in a very long time. And standing in front of this altar, you see a person. Hey, Kyle, you want to give me a description of what this person looks like?
Okay. So you see what appears to be a kind of short, slender, very pale-skinned woman. You see dark, like auburn red hair in a like single braid that's draped over her shoulders. You can't really see her face because she has this like oversized like witch hat on her head. Um, she has like she's wearing these like fingerless, like elbow high gloves that are like a dark purple. It matches her floor length uh, purple dress. Like her aesthetics are like dark purple with silver accents, and you can see she's kind of like she's over at this altar, and she's kind of like she's got her head down, but you can see she's kind of like stretching a little bit and kind of like brushing herself off. And as the door opens, she kind of stops and just looks up at you guys, and you can see very pale skin, and she has white eyes.
So at this point, I would like to point out I'm still carrying Eli's body around.
Yes, you are.
Like she like just kind of freezes. She looks up at you and just freezes.
If I may be so bold, may I ask who you are?
I think you should be telling me who you are. You are here in you I no, you should be telling me who you are.
I take a step forward, reach out my hand to shake, and then like Eli's body starts slipping. I go, oops, no. Yeah, I'm Zach Kieran. I also have no idea what's going on. We killed Butler, stopped Curse, and now there's a town here, and my friends here didn't fare so well.
That is very unfortunate. I am sad to hear that.
Who
I
are
am
you?
very confused as to these things that you're referring to, though. My name is Shiara. I lived here, but things do not appear the same as last I saw. And I do not know this curse you speak of.
Well, the town was buried by sand, apparently, and everyone in the keep got turned into an undead. That was a really long time ago. Don't remember exactly how long. I'm not good at paying attention to stuff like that. Anyway, long story short, no more undead, and their town's back.
Ah, I see.
And it's in extreme disrepair.
I mean, if everything is how it appears, then God damn, shut up, dog.
Bork, bork.
Excuse me, I'm a lizard. And a tiger, not a dog. No part of me is a dog.
If this place has any indication of that, then so the whole city, the keep, everything is like sand and old, and where is everyone?
Well, I'll mention that this all happened a long time ago.
How did you get here?
That's actually a better question.
That is a very good question that I don't know if I can really answer. It was something was going to happen, and I was taken away, and then I I was here. It's like I was put to sleep, and then I was just here. I mean, it was as if just took a nap, and now you're telling me everything that I know is changed.
Out of curiosity, do you happen to know any magic or anything that could bring someone back to life?
I know magic, but I am no healer. I am no cleric. I do not have the power to bring someone back from the dead.
What's this? This place is this. And I pull up my shirt and show him my cool tattoo and my nipples.
She, well, that is a symbol of the god below. I mean, you're in one of the temples right now.
I don't know what that means. I mean, I know what a temple is.
I mean, this is the god below. It's,
Still not ringing a bell. It's just the number of times you say it. It's just not doing it.
So you are not familiar with the gods? We have many temples here. Well, had many temples here.
No, I don't know.
It would appear that the god below has shown you favor by giving you that mark, though.
Weird.
I suspect that is why I am here. It would appear that I was spared this horrible fate that you have spoken of. I'm terribly sorry for your friend, though. It appears that he did not make it. And I do not know magic to bring him back.
You know anybody who might?
I might have known people, but from what you say, they're long gone. I don't even know how long it's been. I mean, it felt like I went to sleep and woke up, and now it is so different.
Well, after I take a nap, sometimes I feel like shit.
Oh.
So maybe just wait a minute,
for Onyx.
and that will all go.
Having no dice makes me anxious.
Thank you, Jess. Onyx gets a d6 because him not having dice makes Jess anxious.
If you wouldn't mind, I would like to see outside.
Go outside.
Wait, were you not just on top of the cathedral?
I mean, I was, but I want to explore.
Okay. Well, you said that. I was kind of worried that there's somebody else here.
I would like to explore too, but we should take care of our friend first.
Of course.
Can't just drag him around.
Remind me what tattoo was on Eli's body?
Eli was
god
the
of
stone.
Earth?
Yep, Earth.
Stone? Okay. Do you happen to know where one of the temples of Earth is?
You would be aware of it, Kyle.
Okay.
The city, had, or has, 6 distinct cathedrals, one for each of the gods. Each district was kind of split up into the religions.
Right. Yes, we have a temple for the god of Earth.
Could maybe take us there. God of Earth chose him. I kind of pulled Eli out.
Yes.
Figure that'd be a good place as any to intern him.
Yes, of course. Here, just let me grab my bag and I'll show you. She just kind of runs over, gets this satchel, and throws it over her. And then she will take you through the city.
So,
and the whole while that she's going through, she's just like, it's like you're going through a ghost town kind of type thing. She's just like, this is very surreal.
And I wouldn't be inclined to agree. You make your way through the city, and for you, Shiara, it's a very mournful and very dark experience. There is the familiar buildings that you're used to from growing up here, but there's no people, there's no sounds of busy traffic, of children at play, merchants, nothing. Just lots of sand and empty. You make your way through the district of Below and make your way over to the district of the God of Earth, which is adjacent to the God Below.
As we're walking, I want to just go. Excuse me, miss. I was a little bit distracted by my friends here. Could you tell me your name again? I kind of missed it.
Oh, yes, my name is Shiara.
And if I were inclined to, how would I spell that?
If you were watching the stream, you'd be able to see it.
I have the chat pulled up.
If I were to write you in my notes, how would I write you in my notes?
Okay.
My name is Shiara Call.
Well, I think we missed this earlier, but even given the circumstances, it's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
I suppose it's a pleasure to make yours as well. I just wish they were under different circumstances.
As do I.
It is very strange going to a city that I've grown up in, and there's nobody here.
What's the name of the city?
Uh-oh.
Funny thing is, Kyle,
Dang, he doesn't know either.
roll me a history.
Oh, God.
Oh, wow.
I am shocked.
Everything Arch was trying to do was just ruined right there.
No, I'm glad you actually got a high history roll there. You know that the city itself, which was more of like a city-state, was known as Ivy Bridge.
Okay.
Like IVY?
IVY Bridge.
Okay. Making sure it's not some weird thing with an apostrophe or something.
You know what, Kyle? Because you got a 22. You recall that the reason why it's called Ivy Bridge is because the Barbican that crosses over to the keep, at least back when you were in your modern time, was covered in a beautiful drape of ivy that would grow all along the stone, and every springtime they would bloom with these beautiful red flowers.
Ooh.
Like a honeysuckle.
So you ask her that, and she's like, "This was our city, our nation. I'm not sure what you would call it these days, but we call it Ivy Bridge."
No, like lightning comes out of the sky as she says the name.
No.
Okay.
A name has been lost.
Kyle,
to
make a new
time.
character. This one's dead.
You said the cursed name. Huh. Weird how you... I appreciate you being able to tell me. Seemed like the Lord and Lady couldn't remember after all this time.
The Lord and Lady, they're still around? What
Well,
is that?
they were. Remember that time I mentioned undead?
Oh. I see, okay. Well,
They were trapped in their bodies. They needed help to be set free.
They brought the town back, by the looks of it.
That
oh.
they did.
Well, that is so nice of them. I guess that's why I was awakened, I suppose, so I should have them to thank. This is all very so strange. I just, sorry if I don't really know what to say right now. And
Well, I can imagine it's probably slightly confusing waking up to see that your whole town has aged a couple hundred years.
They
And that
said you
everyone
guys
is-
made gods mad or something.
Oh yeah. Apparently that curse was placed by the gods.
This was a curse
in,
from a god or something. Like I said, I'm not very good at that.
I can't say that I know anything about that. I just know that the god below just was going to spare me or something. It's you know how the gods are. They're not always super clear in these things.
I don't really know that much. We actually just found out, I think it was today, or maybe
Yeah, this
last night,
happened. I
that
show
the
my-
gods are real.
I show my nipples again. Yeah, this happened like 20 minutes ago.
Oh,
Yeah.
Not very long.
I
I'm
have one from
confused.
fire as well.
interesting. All of you have been marked. That's his.
Kyle,
Yes.
you would find it interesting that these people, as far as they understand it, didn't know that the gods were even real until recently. During your time, they were very much real and very vocal in the world.
Yeah. So she's like really because like Ilo doesn't know, and Zai has kind of said these things too. So she's like, how do you not know? You two act like you are not very familiar.
Well,
Well,
monsters on the ground don't usually pray to anything.
and until yesterday, I was really under the assumption that it was more like a philosophy than, a real religion.
I mean, some of the people on the sea were worshipping the god of water, but I never understood that.
The dwarves and other blacksmiths really kind of worship God, earth, and fire. But no one really believes the gods exist. It's just kind of a way of thinking.
So it is very strange. During my time, the gods were. I mean, you could almost say they were like. You could almost say that they lived among us. They were so vocal. They were a huge part of society. I don't understand how. Oh, I don't understand what happened.
And the god of the whatever was vocal with me. He said, "You're worthy."
Oh,
I
yeah.
heard that.
Mine said something like that, too. I don't remember the exact wording, but something about being worthy.
Well, that is.
That was strange, though.
That's strange, yes. But the gods are. I don't know if strange is the right word, but it is all hard to do. But for one to call you worthy, that's an honor. But the fact that you're so unfamiliar with any of them, the fact that they are not just kind of here making sure their will is being performed it's very foreign to me. I mean, when I was,
Wait,
what appears to me is yes. What?
Does this mean that you know what this whole "you are worthy" thing means? Because that had no explanation to go with it, just a voice in my head, and you are worthy.
I don't think I know exactly what that's all about. I mean, I wasn't there to witness it, so I don't really know the context, but for a god to tell you that you're worthy, that's kind of a big deal, I would feel like.
I was there to witness it, and I also don't know the context.
I'm sorry, I can't really help in that matter. I mean,
we
it
can
could be a
talk
blessing,
details
it
later.
could be something else. I don't really know. I'm listen, I know magic, but I know a few things of religion, but it's not exactly my strong suit. I just know that I was granted certain abilities from the god below.
Are we to the Temple of Earth yet?
Yeah.
Because we have more stops to make after this, so we can keep talking.
Okay. Yeah, you guys arrive at the Temple of the God of Earth. It's a similarly large cathedral. This one, however, appears to be a deep brownish stone-like material. You see the familiar symbol of the God of Earth.
I want to walk in and look for somewhere just to leave Eli's body, preferably in a coffin or something, not just laying on a pew.
Make a investigation.
13.
Okay, it wasn't that hard of a check. Looking around the inside of the cathedral, you see the similar benches and pews, the altar at the front. Behind the altar and off to the side, there is a door that seems to go down a flight of stairs. Going down those stairs, you find that there is actually a... God, what the hell is the term?
Catacomb.
Yeah, that's it. There appears to be a catacomb. You see many urns that have ashes in them. You also see that there are a few stone sarcophagi, a few wooden coffins, but they look a little bit more worn. There are alcoves into the walls.
Okay, Eli's a nerd. I wanted to take paper and something to write with from him.
Easy enough to do. He has plenty of paper and...
Then I'm gonna write something along the lines of, here lies Eli, whatever his last name is.
Silvermane.
Here lies Eli Silvermane, teacher, adventurer. May he rest in peace and something related to Earth. There's a reason fire chose me, not Earth, okay?
Alright.
You could put something
That's actually what I wrote. Something related to Earth.
You're stubborn as a rock.
Yeah, there you go. See, he's got it.
And then I trade the piece of paper for Eli's backpack and wand.
Okay. You take Eli's stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll deal with that later. Right now I'm adding Eli's stuff to my inventory.
That's fine. We can deal with that off stream.
Okay.
He was going to teach me how to read. That bastard.
Oh, you don't know how to read.
Shiara, was it?
Yes, sorry.
Next, I think we might need to go to the Temple of Water. I have a feeling that's where our other friend might have gone.
Okay.
She's having kind of an identity crisis. She was a cleric of water, but then the god of air marked her.
Now her magic's like
So,
fucked.
You don't. So you have a cleric.
Well, kind of. She's just temporarily with us, to the best of my knowledge.
Ah.
I have a very
She's-
important question.
Mm-hmm.
Did either of you grab her hammer?
Oh, no, that's still there. I totally forgot it was there.
Okay.
We'll go back for it.
Oh, will you? So, and if you have a cleric, why not? Does she not have the ability to raise a dead?
Well, she tried, but she prayed to the god of water, and it didn't work out super well.
Her
In
magic
fact,
is
nothing
messed
happened.
up.
Her magic is messed up. I don't.
Yeah, she prayed to the god of water. She's a cleric of
Nothing
water,
happened.
but she was marked by the god of air. And she was chosen as well or something. And now her magic's all screwy.
That is very strange. I can't say I've seen that happen before.
Me neither.
I do have a small question though.
Mm-hmm.
I don't take this the wrong way. I was not snooping, but I have certain abilities that allowed me to see things. And each of you, your friend included, I get some strange magic sense from all three of you.
I
Can't
pull out
tell
my
you-
magic glaive and give it a twirl.
I can do magic.
That's
This-
it.
this
That's the
thing.
thing.
Yeah.
Each of you have something that's producing this strange aura of magic, and I'm
I'm a
not
master.
familiar.
I'm a master blacksmith, and this is magic metal, bright steel. I don't know how much you knew about that back in your day.
We did not have that. I've never heard of that.
Bright steel didn't exist back when you were living your normal life.
I cannot say that it was something that was ever brought up. Magic metal. I've heard of, objects and things being infused with magic, but not a.
No, I do that too. It's different.
Completely different. That's just sort of enchanting and whatnot. But No, I can't say I've ever heard of Bright Steel.
So, back in your day, gods existed. And also, Bratsteel didn't exist.
I mean, it's not to say that it didn't exist, but
What was the
Hey,
time? 5,000 years?
it probably didn't exist.
Hey, Adler, what was that thing that Eli kept talking about all the time? Arcane Sea or something like that?
Right, like water.
Yeah,
Underground with magic water. I
you know
don't know.
know anything about that? Shiara?
The
Arcane
origin
Sea?
of magic.
Yeah, something like that.
Infuse the metal or something. I don't
Is
know.
that something that I would be familiar with?
You know, I'm gonna have to take a look at my notes for a second here. Fuck.
Excuse me, Archel, I tried to put all the pieces of your world together and probably fail miserably.
That's alright. I love it when you try to do that.
It's just fun that we know now that this wasn't a piece because you didn't have it fresh in your mind. We can mark this off of our. We know this is a puzzle piece.
Shiara, roll me a history check.
Quit making me roll history.
Or Arcana. I'll allow either.
I'll do Arcana. Damn it. I swear, I know magic.
But I don't know why it works.
Look at that. Look at that. A good int score.
Amazing. No, you've never heard of anything called the Arcane Sea. Or sorry, the Archon Sea, as you so incorrectly put it.
I thought I said arcane.
No, I'm making a joke because Neil was like, "It's called the Archon Sea."
Oh,
I did not say that. You're
You
lying.
did, no, you did. I literally have a recording.
No.
Nope. He just denies it. It wasn't him. He said it.
Arcane Sea? I cannot say that I am familiar with that either. These terms that you
Well,
use are so
that might be
foreign
new
to me.
too, then. Anyway, Temple of Water, could you possibly lead us there?
Yes. Here, right this way. It's no problem.
As we walk.
You guys begin making your way towards the temple of the God of Water. You know that the God of Water is, or the temple of the God of Water is diagonal to Earth. Best way I can describe it for those of you who would like to know is it's basically laid out in a 3 and 3. The bottom right is the God below. The bottom middle is the God of Earth. The bottom left is the God above. The top right is the God of Water. The middle one is the God of Air, and the left one is the God of Fire.
Okay. So, Shiara, what exactly did you do in that temple? Like, before you took your nap.
Or like when you woke up. We don't know.
That was the strange thing. I didn't really spend that much time at the temple. It was kind of odd to I guess, wake up there.
Before we saw you, there was also a giant ball of dark energy floating above the cathedral.
Interesting.
Would you know anything about that?
I mean, I'm inclined to believe that had something to do with the god below. So it was Okay, so to answer the first part of your question, I mean, I was just a person. I was learning magic from my parents. I messed up one day and almost killed my parents. It was not great. From then on, my older sister raised me and, well, became their caretaker, which kind of gave me the freedom to get away with some things that I shouldn't have been doing. And I would visit the temples on occasion. and one day I might have found myself in the temple of the god below. I might have snuck past a few people and got my hands on something that I should not have.
Something?
It was a book. So I was trying to learn magic. I was hungry for it. I crave it. I'm good at it. My parents knew magic, and when I was born, I had part of this magic just in me. So I was hungry for it, and I knew that in these temples there were books and stuff in there. So I was trying to find some book about how to learn something. And my sister did not want to go too far, and I just felt like I wasn't being pushed. And I found this book, and I opened it, and well, that is part of the reason why I look like I do now. I didn't always look as completely pale-skinned. I actually do. I used to have dark green eyes. I did not have these white eyes that I do now. Whatever was in that book, it did something to me. It gave me strange abilities, and as I've gotten older, I've come to realize that it was the god below, in a way, giving me certain abilities. And as I continued through life, I got older. I helped my sister with our parents until they were getting too poor of health. And then all I remember was one day this voice in my head, which I now can assume that it was the god below, said that I was going to be spared, and then I just kind of fell asleep. I didn't really know what was going on, and then I woke up. And I was on top of that temple, and here we are. So to me, it was yesterday was an ordinary day for me, and now I woke up, and everything is different.
How much about this do you know? And I show you my nipples again.
Jesus Christ.
I can tell you the basics of the gods. From where I am from, we all know the basics of all the gods. I know a little bit more about the god below after what had happened. I would go to the temple occasionally to try to learn a few things here and there. As I progressed with my magic, I would discover a few new abilities here and there.
I'm sure Faith can tell me something.
Potentially.
So we can see new information and old information and whatever. I don't know. We got to find Faith, though.
Yes.
I need to check something.
Let me open my notes to look for Faith real quick.
It's very strange. Like, to me, like, it doesn't really sunk in that my family is gone, my sister is gone, and I just saw them hours ago. It feels like it's very strange, but I can't say that I'm sad.
Well, that's good. What was the timeline that the king gave? I think it was like 1,000 or 5,000. I want to say it was some relative.
Who, the Lord?
Number. Yeah, they told us how long ago this had happened.
5,000 years.
5,000. That's okay. That was my first guess. Yes, 5,000 years ago, the Lord said. The Lord and the lady.
5,000?
Yes. Like 3 zeros.
Oh,
After
wow.
the 5.
That's a very long time. Huh.
This
Well,
place has been abandoned here for a long time. People don't come around because of the ghosts.
Well, the city didn't even fucking exist on the map.
Also, yeah,
Which, by the way, guys, I have good news.
you
We
have
have
a
a new
map
map?
now? A
Layer
real one? Well,
to back.
so that you can stop criticizing Onyx for drawing one even though you made him do it?
No, I'm not talking about that. Take a look at the world map.
We
Can't-
can't yet
okay.
move us.
Yeah. I see the throne room.
Oh, whoops.
My
There we
map
go.
is beautiful. I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, it's green.
hey.
Did you mention that it was green? I was still imagining a desert wasteland.
Yeah.
It is coming back.
Okay.
Yeah, there's lots of sand. And now there's not so much sand.
See, this 5,000 years. Wow. From when? Well, I guess 5,000 years ago, this whole was green. It was lush.
It's mostly desolate now.
As you mentioned that, I look down and see like tiny bits of grass poking through the ground somewhere. I just stare at it for a while.
So it's not so much that there is grass, whereas there's sand in the surrounding area. This area, like, there's sand that Warren blew off of the buildings. Here there is like dirt, like actual dirt.
I stare at it. It's weird. There shouldn't be dirt here. So you two who are walking just notice I stop and stare at a patch of dirt for absolutely no reason.
Is something? Is your friend okay?
I don't know, to be honest.
He's staring at dirt.
I try not to worry about it too much.
There's
Mr. Dragon Man, are you okay over there?
dirt here. There's not
Yeah.
supposed to be dirt here.
I mean, there is supposed to be dirt there. That's
I don't think there's supposed to be a whole city here.
Fuck. Well,
There's a lot more things than dirt. I see buildings. Do you not see the buildings?
There's not supposed to be anything here.
I mean, on the contrary, this is supposed to have always been here. The weird part is that it hasn't been here.
well, as long as anyone in the tribes could remember, this place has been.
The tribes, the barbarian tribes are still here.
We don't really call us barbarians.
have nipples?
My God, Neil.
Don't answer that.
We
I'm
already
reading the
did.
chat. Yeah, it's amazing. I didn't realize that was happening.
Sharpie.
So, is the tribes, are they still united under?
United. When have they been
who?
united?
Oh, I guess that's something else that has changed.
I want to hear more about that. Maybe a little bit later. We have some stuff to take care of.
So,
Right.
as you guys are talking, you're, Shiara, you know that you're probably another, like, maybe 10, 15 minutes walking distance away from the Temple of the God of Water. And you see what looks like a centralized storm cloud that begins to form and shift in the air off in the distance.
This eye's all sorts of messed up again. It's raining here.
It's a lot
Like it was like another
smaller.
normal? Oh.
No, it's a lot smaller than a normal storm front would be. This looks very centralized, and as you're looking at it, there doesn't seem to be any rain coming out of it, but you watch as one after another, every couple seconds, you watch as a bolt of lightning, blue, red, yellow, green, pink, white, begins to flash out of this cloud and strike down somewhere off in the distance.
So,
what
as
is,
that men-
what is that? Is that normal? Is that normal now? Is that supposed to be happening?
I've
I
never
was about
seen
to,
that.
I
I
was about
don't
to
know,
ask
though.
you the same thing. So I guess it's not normal. We should probably go. And I start like jogging off
rain
in
and
that
clouds
direction.
are normal, but small centralized clouds with color lightning, that seems
Yeah, as I start jogging towards it.
Are you guys all going to be picking up the pace a little bit?
yeah.
Yeah, we're finding faith.
I have faith.
So you guys pick up the pace and begin moving a lot quicker towards where Shiara at least knows where the god of water is. And at this point, you guys are kind of just running towards where the lightning is.
Yay!
Damn, Faith, what did you do this time?
After about 7-8 minutes of brisk jogging, you come upon a large building, a large cathedral made of a bright blue and white marbled stone. However, and this stands out very differently, is that this temple has large holes punctured through it. There are several pieces missing. There are what look like scorch marks of just black that are spread out on the ground. You can see from outside that there appears to be a fire inside of the building. It seems that whatever wood was inside of the cathedral itself has caught fire. The stained glass windows are in pieces shattered across the ground outside and inside. The doors in the front are partially unhinged and blackened, as well as splintered in places. The roof looks like it has partially collapsed from these impacts. There is a lot of damage. The building itself looks like it's no longer very stable.
I want to run in.
Alright, you run inside. Inside there is a fire that has already consumed the altar at the front.
Okay, so the fire is a current thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's currently a fire on the altar, and it has spread across the floor where there was some carpeting and whatnot.
It was also on fire 5,000 years ago. I forgot to mention.
Some of the pews have begun to catch flame as well. There were drapes along very large tapestries that were hanging along the walls. Those are beginning to ignite as well.
Do I see Faith anywhere?
Make a perception.
8.
Looking around, you don't see Faith anywhere. You don't hear her. The fire itself is kind of distracting. And
do I see any doors?
There is a door towards the back in a very similar fashion. It looks like all of these cathedrals were designed structurally the same, but with different material.
I'm on his shoulder. Can I be looking too?
Sure.
Perception?
Yep.
14.
Looking around, similarly, you don't see any sign of Faith.
I'm going to make my way to, presumably, the only door. At least that I know of.
I'm gonna need you to make a Constitution check. You and Ilo, since Ilo's riding on your shoulder.
Can you tell me what for?
The fire is very intense, and you are essentially going to be walking into a cloud of smoke.
Can I have advantage for being resistant to fire?
For the fire damage, if you step in the fire, yes. For the smoke, no.
Never mind.
11.
Crit.
Zai, you're able to... You've dealt with smoke before from working the forges, and sometimes it would get in your face. You're used to this at this point, and are able to kind of just cover your mouth and trudge on. However, Ilo, you start coughing, and it's becoming gradually harder and harder for you to actually breathe as Zai begins making his way through this cloud of smoke and fire deeper into the temple.
So
yeah, I'll hop off.
Yeah, I was going to say, me having worked with fire a whole bunch, can I take Ilo off my shoulder and put him closer to the ground where it's not as thick?
I'll hop off, and while I'm sitting on the ground, I'll be the one that's hollering out for Faith.
Okay.
Continuously.
You're hollering out for Faith. You're not getting any responses over the crackling of the inferno that is unfolding in front of you. Zai, you trudge your way further and further into the temple as the fire begins to spread the smoke surrounding you. I need you to make a perception at disadvantage.
Crit fail.
Okay, I need you...
My other one was a crit.
Amazing. Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Holy shit. I need you to roll 2d6, please.
7.
Okay, so as you are walking, you accidentally step right into the midst of a blaze. However, due to your draconic resistance, you only take 3 fire damage.
Okay.
You make your way through the temple, passing through this small patch of fire as it begins to spread, and make your way to the door in the back. The door is ajar, and there is no light down below.
Okay, so seeing this, like, I'm aware that there's spires and stuff because Shiara was standing on top of one. Do I see any way to go up?
Make an investigation.
18.
Well, that's a pretty good roll. You actually see that as you walk through the door, if you close it behind you, there is actually a entryway behind it that's kind of like partially concealed behind the door itself.
Okay, I want to go up the stairs because I'm not going to be able to see anything if I go down the stairs.
Okay. You make your way up these stairs, and they spiral up higher and higher, and eventually you find yourself at the partially decimated rooftop spire of the Cathedral of the God of Water. The domed roof that's above you is shattered into pieces, some that have fallen on the roof, some that have punched through the roof and gone to the floor below. There is rubble all about, and there are definitely scorch marks all over.
Do I see a face?
You do not.
Well, in that case, I'm just going to go, Oi, God of Water, I think we get the message. If you could, like, stop this for a little bit, we'll talk to her. And then with that, I'm just going to walk down the stairs and hope that did anything at all.
Alright, the cloud is gone. The lightning is gone.
Okay, I still say it.
Alright. Make a wisdom check.
Check?
Yep.
5.
Okay. You make your way back down the spiraling stairs. At this point, Ilo and Shiara, the inferno that's in the temple itself is beginning to really build. By your guess, the place is probably going to go completely ablaze in the next couple minutes.
Yeah, Shiara didn't even go inside. She's like standing outside on the street, just like at a safe distance.
Hey, you notice that as quickly as the cloud was there, it's gone. By the time you guys got there, it was completely dissipated.
Somebody really made some...
Okay. Am I down the stairs yet?
Yes.
Can I, like, put on one of my shoulder-length gloves or whatever and just, like, grab a piece of burning something and use that as a torch?
Sure, why not?
Okay, and then I'm going to go down to the catacombs. Crypts, whatever we're calling them.
I like catacombs. Sounds cooler.
Okay.
You go down into the catacombs. There is bits of rubble strewn about the floor from some of the impacts of the lightning. It looks like it kind of shook loose some of the stone ceiling above. There are similarly several urns with people's ashes, sarcophagi, and several just basic wooden coffins. Looking around, you don't see anybody down here either.
Hey, Faith, you down here?
You hear nothing but your voice echo back at you.
Okay. God of Water, this is your temple, so I'll ask you. Do you have any idea where she is? And God of Fire, because apparently I'm marked by you and, you know, the whole place is on fire. Any help that you could offer a little bit, since apparently you're all real?
Make 2 wisdom checks. One with advantage, one with disadvantage.
14. 3.
As you say these out loud, there doesn't seem to be any motion or movement. The fire that's currently burning at the end of this, let's say it's like one of the legs of one of the pews. You see the fire seem to kind of shift a little bit without there being any wind or anything to really buffet it, but not much beyond that.
I just kind of shrug and follow the invisible wind, so the direction the fire is pointing. May as well. Don't know what else to do.
It wasn't really pointing anywhere. It kind of was just like, just kind of
Okay.
wibbly wobbly.
Like every direction, or like there was any particular way it looked like the wind was coming from?
It kind of went everywhere.
Okay, well in that case, well, I guess that didn't work. I head back up the stairs then. If there's nobody down here.
Okay. You make your way back upstairs to a raging inferno that is currently blocking your path to the exit.
Sweet, that's my favorite thing to do.
Mhm.
I'm gonna, like, look one last time around here, see if I can see anything at all.
Make another perception with disadvantage.
This is gonna go amazing. Don't worry. Crit fail.
Again.
Yep.
You can't see anything past the black smoke that's beginning to fill your vision. The smoke
Okay,
beginning to fill the entire room.
In that case, I'm just gonna, like, tuck my face into my arm, to, like, try to block any of the smoke out, and then just, like, run through it. Try to
Alright.
get to the door.
I need you to roll a 3d6, please. Was it another 20? Let's see. No. The other roll was a 16. You, running through the room, take another 5 fire damage as the flames lick at your scaly skin. And you come bursting out the front door of the cathedral. Ilo and Chiara, you see a slightly singed and burnt Zai come running out the front entryway.
Oh goodness. What happened?
You trying to cook yourself?
Well, didn't find her. I think something happened with something, but don't really know what that was about.
The cloud with the lightning it just kind of went away earlier.
Yeah, I noticed that when I climbed up the tower.
It's very strange. We should probably get back. This is
Back there.
getting bad.
It does look like the temple's gonna fall down. Unfortunately, I still don't know where Faith is.
We could check the Church of Air.
Yeah, you mentioned that she was marked by the gods of the air.
Yeah, but she really seemed like she didn't want to accept that, but I guess there's no harm in looking.
It's the only other place I could think.
Well, for your sakes and hers, I hope that she's there.
Just a second. Just because I've been doing this a whole bunch lately, for some reason, may as well continue. I turn towards the water temple and go, okay, water god. It looks like your temple's in a real bad state. We'll try our best to build it up again at some point when we can. Don't want you to be underrepresented. Saw what happened last time, all you got mad. Probably don't want that to happen again.
He's talking to himself more.
No, he's talking to the god of the water. I know that seems strange to you all, but not actually that out of the normal for me.
Well, I don't actually know if that's doing anything, but you're sure they exist. We were told they exist by the Lord and Ladies, so I figured there's no harm in trying.
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any visual reaction or tangible reaction to this.
Yeah, that's not what I was going for. I was just trying to, like, if you exist, then here, let's appease you. If you don't exist, no harm done.
Right. So what are you guys doing?
Here, follow me. We'll go see if maybe she went to the Temple of Air.
Maybe that's why my torch blew. There was air. And so we make our way.
All right. Takes you another roughly 15-20 minutes to make your way to the air district. Being that it's adjacent to the water district, it's not nearly as far as it would be if you went elsewhere. Making your way through the city, you approach the Cathedral of Air. This bright white and yellow temple looks to be some sort of mixture, like marbled white and yellow material. Similar architecture again. The doors are currently shut, and there is, at least outside, no visible sign of faith.
Here, right this way. And Shiara will open the door and walk in.
I'm going to do something because I like it better when I leave things in your hands.
I'm scared.
All three of you roll a d20 for me, please.
That's how much dead you are.
Almost rolled a d30.
Goodness.
I feel left out.
Good job, Onyx.
Okay, highs win.
There's Neil wasting his crit on something I don't
Wasted a crit on something stupid again.
I do not think it's
Every
a stupid thing at all what you just did, Neil. Thank you. I'm
I don't know,
actually
Neil.
pretty
Neil
satisfied.
did it. Neil did it. It's
Mhm.
stupid.
Yeah, that's mostly the case.
You walk inside of the Cathedral of Air, and it's a very similar layout, and there is nobody inside. The room looks largely undisturbed.
Keeping with the theme. Hey, God of Air, where's your chosen one?
Make a wisdom check, please.
I'm gonna pass one of these one day, but today's not that day.
Not today.
Here, let me see if I can. Let me try.
There
I think
was no response for you, Zai.
Let me see if there's
Think it
anything
was.
that I can do. I think I'm a little bit more familiar with this kind of stuff. Shiara will go up to the altar, and well, apparently it is been a long time since I've done this. You guys have not been around. This is Shiara. I typically am more associated with the god below, but seeing the circumstances, you have someone that you chose. We're having trouble finding them. Her name is Faith. It's apparently you have called her, and she seems to be upset. From what I've been told, she's having a crisis of faith. Yeah, enough. If there is any way that you can point us in the right direction, because we really hope she wasn't in the Temple of the Water that just kind of went up in flames. But is there some way that you could point us in the right direction, or give us the right words to say to her? It would be greatly appreciated.
Make a wisdom check with disadvantage.
$50 reward. Put a $50 reward.
Wisdom. Ooh, 16.
I need you to make a dexterity saving throw, please.
Okay.
Suddenly, Faith falls from the ceiling.
Roll a d6 for me.
Oh my god.
Okay. Zion Ilo, you watch as Shiara kneels down in front of this altar and begins to pray to the god of air, beseeching them for help in trying to find faith. And the doors behind you seem to slam open and crash into the walls behind you. There seems to be a large, almost like a miniature hurricane, that blasts through the room and swirls in this loud, droning moan of air. Shiara, you feel this air suddenly fly directly at you, and you dive to the side, and you feel almost like this intangible cutting across the cheek on your right side, and a red line begins to form and blood trickles out. You take 6 slashing damage as the wind abates and then completely cuts off.
Hey, Shiara,
You're not allowed to do that anymore.
I don't think they like that. Sorry, God
Yeah.
Air. Didn't mean to offend you.
I see that. I don't really know why that happened, but sorry if I offended you. Just going. I'm just gonna go over here now. Sorry. Yeah, you must not like the god below.
So what are you guys doing?
I'm gonna go check the towers and crypts again, or catacombs again. May as well.
In the air temple here?
Yep.
All right. You make your way through the catacomb, looking around it, again, similarly laid out. You don't see anybody down here who is alive anyways.
Hey,
Faye, Faye,
you down here?
Faye. You down here? You down here? You down here?
Did she have any sort of magic items or anything on her?
Great, now he can talk to 3 of himself.
I
None
if she
that I
has
know
any
of.
magic on her, I could try to detect.
Probably, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, Shiara will detect magic radar.
You don't pick up any magic beyond the items that they currently possess on them.
Time to check upstairs.
You climb upstairs and go into the spire. There's no one up there either.
Okay, Mr. God Air. Or Mrs., I don't know. Anyway, need to find your chosen one. She seems to be going through some stuff. Gonna keep looking for her. Sorry she's not here. Anyway, better get looking. I walk back down the stairs.
Alright, you go back down these stairs and into the temple proper. What are the 3 of you doing?
Maybe your friend will come back when she's ready.
That's what I'm hoping. She did leave a hammer in the keep. We can go wait around that. Maybe she'll come back for it.
I mean, most of the time these types they have a very favored weapon, and she'll probably be back for it. So I forgot. I haven't asked you all what. Why are you here? What?
Well, the short version of it is the mercenary company we work for needs a new place to stay, so we got the deed to the keep, and we were tasked with clearing it out of anything that was in there. We did that. We didn't really expect it to have a whole city, which I guess by technicality we're now in charge of.
Strange.
Like we said, this place was deserted.
And
Right, no,
So
barren
we got
desert,
the
haunted keep, super cursed. Legends say never to come here because it sucks real bad.
leader of our guild thing got the. This is property of his, I guess, is how I understand it now.
Okay.
The
Free
deed
company,
to the
it's
keep.
called.
Yeah, the free company. That's who we are with.
Okay.
We just came to clean it out. Because this was where we were going to make the free company.
I guess we can call it Average Keep,
Headquarters.
though. May as well keep the name.
Well, I suppose I can. If you don't mind the company, I don't really have anything going on. seeing as I'm 5,000 years out of time.
Well, our other friends are missing or dead, so I would say that you should leave. But what do I know?
Well, death doesn't
Glad
exactly.
to have the company, though.
Right, death
You-
is. I'm familiar with the god below, so death is not exactly. It's not a sore subject. It's inevitable. Don't get me wrong. I feel sad, but it's part of life.
Yeah, he had a long one.
He did look pretty old.
He was very long.
Sai looks like he just remembers something. Isla, I don't think we should ever go to Nelmasari.
Where?
The
Let me
college.
look at that.
The college was in Millenthalor.
Okay. And by that, I mean Millenthalor. I think I remember something about Eli saying he had, like, this super strong friend who adventured with my master and your captain. I don't think we want to meet her and have to, like, explain that Eli died.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know why all of you are here. I know why I'm here. I don't know what your people have you all doing, so
Well, I'm kind of here to avoid the war.
The war? What's war?
Oh, yeah. I would just like... Do we actually have a physical map with us, Arch?
Why not?
Okay. So it's like, I just sit down in the middle of the road and say, okay, sit here for a second. It's going to take a bit.
Okay.
I just roll the map out. It's like, I point at the Dwarven Kingdom. Okay. So Dwarven Kingdom, dwarves live here. Name fits. Going to war with this kingdom over here, Rome Descended, because this spot here, point at Nelmasari, apparently has some more of that brat steel metal that they really want, and so they're attacking them for it. And they started a huge drafting, and I needed to get out of there, so my blacksmith master helped me escape because he's come for a while and thinks that this whole thing is a sham and that the council and stuff controls everything. I'm not exactly sure on the details. I kind of need to look into that when I can.
So, Shiara, a few things looking at this map.
Okay.
The Dwarven Kingdom did not exist when you were, during your time. The Kazan Tundra was just a tundra. There was nothing there. The Farthern Barony was also not a thing.
Okay.
The Realm of the Ascended you were aware of. The Land of Midwood you were aware of. Rumrunner Isle and Lawless Archipelago, no fucking clue. Sutherland you were aware of at the time was kind of a lawless, shitty place where all of the bad people would typically go.
Okay.
I imagine
that's
Ivy
pretty
Bridge
much
isn't on the map I have.
No, the map that you have shows the Freelands as they were prior to their now being a giant fucking keep and sprawling city.
Yeah, so Shiara is like looking at this map, like scratching her head. Look, like her eyes are darting back and forth. 5,000 years is a long time. I have a lot of questions, but they can wait.
Yeah, 5,000 is even longer than 3,000.
Because that's... So, that wasn't there, and that wasn't there. I don't know who those people are. That over there is completely different. I don't know what that is. Okay, so there's these people over here are mad at these people because they have a thing.
I don't know if they're really mad. They just want it.
Right. They're mad because these people won't give it to them. So they're gonna have a war. But these people in the middle don't want that to happen. So they're gonna fight both if they try to cross.
I don't really know about that part, but our mercenary company is based right here. Point at Shayla's. So we were told we probably shouldn't be there because they don't want us to take part in any side of the war. So that's why we're down here now.
Interesting. Okay.
Oh yeah, I grew up in the Freelands, part of the Glaive tribe, if that existed back then.
They did.
Ilo's from somewhere.
I've been around.
I think he's like from the tundra or something. I don't know.
That has been too long.
He's from a boat.
Oh goodness. What is this about? You mentioned a school?
Yeah, there's some kind of college or something or other over in Millanthalore. That's where our friend was originally from. He was a teacher there before he came out.
It's a whole school. That's...
Wait, didn't he say something about it floating? I think I remember saying something about that once.
So it's a floating school?
I don't know. I've never seen it.
It seems like I have a lot to do and see, as things are so different. Wow. As it's a whole new world.
A brand new place you never knew.
With no one to tell you no or where to go.
Go away.
You keep calling this person that I saw in your vision master.
Huh? Oh, yeah. He was my teacher. He
Yes.
taught me everything I know about
I
blacksmith.
thought that I might have had a misunderstanding about that.
Nah, just a teacher. Apprentice master thing.
Mm-hmm.
Why am I
He just kind of
sensing
gives
some
you a look.
Why am I sensing hostilities? But
What was that look for, Hyla?
No, nothing.
I
Like
don't
I said,
believe
there
that
was
for
just a
second.
misunderstanding.
Well, I'm sorry about that.
Do you know
The
what
Muffin Man?
your master, as you call him? Do you know why him and what happened with him and Captain Alabar?
I have absolutely no idea. I just know that they adventured together, and I found that out about 2 minutes before I had to crawl through a really long, small tunnel out of the city.
Hmm.
In fact, he never once talked about his adventuring days. It's more like, stop making the stupid sword wrong and you do it right.
It sounds like Captain Alabar. If you care about your friend, you should tell him to stay off the ocean.
So I take it things didn't end super well then.
I don't know. But that's the only pity that the dwarf is going to get from me. Warn him not, I don't care. But if it's your fucking friend, tell him to stay off the ocean if you care.
I know you don't like dwarves, and you have a very good reason to. But this specific one, I don't think advocates for the things that kobolds are used for in there.
As Eli said, I should give them a chance. So, this is me doing that.
Yeah, don't really know that you should give them all a chance. From what I can see, a lot of them suck real bad, but I happen to like that one.
I'll keep that in mind.
So at the very least, warn him before you try to kill him.
I'm not going to try to kill him. The Trinity still floats.
Okay.
So where are you guys headed?
Keep...
this whole conversation, Shiara is just like in the... like...
What?
like her head is just like going from one to the other as they're talking.
Amazing.
Is Ida on my shoulder?
Yeah.
Okay.
So you guys make your way back up to the keep.
Before you slit my throat.
You walk across the Barbican and make your way into the main courtyard. Where would you guys like to go? What would you like to do?
First, I want to check to see if the hammer's still there.
Sure. Are the other two following, or are you guys going to go off and do something else?
I'm writing.
Oh, well, I don't know if there was something Isla wanted to do elsewhere in the keep or whatnot.
No, not at the moment.
Chiara?
The way Ayla sees it, we have all the time in the world to run around and...
I should mention, Chiara, this is your first time ever going up to the
that's
keep.
what I was about to say. Yeah, I mean, even with it being in like disrepair, it's still like, you know, she's still kind of taken aback.
This is how you live the royal life.
This is I've never been up to the keep before. This is amazing.
Well, it's even better now. There's not lots of undead all over the place.
That is probably true.
I'm sure it was even better back in your day too.
Oh, the Lord and Lady. It was pretty pristine. The bridge that we crossed over. That's where we got our name from. I'm sure we can fix that, but it used to have ivy vines and grew all over it with bloom, and it's so beautiful.
It's still weird to me that there was stuff growing down here. It's been desert for as long as I can remember. As long as my tribe can remember.
Well, I'm sure that we can change that.
Kyle, it's worth mentioning that you actually, because you were not under the curse, you do remember the Lord and Lady's name.
Ooh.
It was Lady Tiana Nightwood and Lord God, what the fuck was his name? I remember hers because Tiana was a really nice one that I liked. What the hell was his name?
She sounds like an elf.
Pete.
Pete.
There we go. It was Lady Tiana Nightwood and Lord Helath Nightwood.
Is the hammer still there?
You go down there and you see that the hammer is still embedded the inch into the stone.
Cool. I'm gonna go pick it up.
Sure. You lift it up. It is pretty heavy, surprisingly enough.
It's a giant hammer. I don't think it's that surprising.
It is heavier than you would expect it to be.
Okay.
Is it like a...
Some mix.
Okay.
Zai, you being a blacksmith and having dealt with it, you are aware that this is absolutely a bright steel artifact.
Oh shit.
Okay. I make a mental note not to try to use this because I'm sure that would end badly for me. And then I'm gonna move it.
Yeah, you're not sure if it's blood bonded or not.
Yeah, and I'm gonna move it to the front hall.
All right. Are you gonna place it anywhere, or are you just gonna leave it on the floor?
Is there any good place to place it where I can not throw it on the ground?
There's probably a few pedestals where there were once vases of flowers and whatnot. You could probably put one on.
Then I'm just gonna pull one out into the middle of the room and place it there, so she can't miss it if she comes back in.
Sure. You drag over one of these stands and put the hammer atop it.
Then I want to go to the barracks and see if I can find a suit of crappy plate mail.
Sure. Make a investigation.
18.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of scrounging. You kind of have to grab scraps and pieces of off different armor stands that are kind of basically they all were looted. But you'll find a bracer here, a shoulder piece here, just a piece of the chest plate itself that was scattered. Most of them, in fact, all of them are in really shitty condition, rusted over and dented.
And then I'm going to grab some random scrap metal stuff that's probably too broken to be fixed, and I want to spend the rest of however long we're here fixing it up slowly but surely. At the Master Forge thing that's here.
Sure. So we'll say that's going to take you the better part of the day to gather up all the material.
Yeah, this is going to take forever, so I'm done.
What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna rummage through the kitchen.
Shiara's probably just like she's probably giving herself the grand tour, just wandering around.
And we didn't get a chance to look. I'm saying I'm gonna go through the kitchen. I'm gonna go through the Lord and Lady's room, since they're gone, and we didn't go through that room because they were standing there when we were in it.
That's true. You also did not check the room up the right set of stairs.
We did not do that either.
Okay, then I'll go do those things.
Sure.
While he's working.
All right. Let me pull up my notes on the keep. Second floor. Master bedroom. Okay. So you make your way to the Lord and Lady's room. And where is my second floor map? There it is. To give you a description of it again, a fantastical room decorated with dusty and torn satin and velvet pillows scattered across the floor. Along the ceiling are trails of cobwebs that cling to red and purple cloth that covers much of the ceiling in an interweaving design. In the northwest corner of the room is a walk-in closet containing shredded and torn clothes, many even in their horrid states appearing very exquisite. Against the northern wall is a desk with several drawers half open or missing. To the right of the desk is a large vanity with several drawers all closed. To the right of the vanity is a changing wall, the zigzag, whatever the hell you call them. Against the eastern wall is a canopy-covered king-size bed, covered in exotic bedding with crisscrossing floral patterns in an elvish design. Next to the bed is the string that travels up the wall, along the ceiling, and out the door into the hall. In the center of the room on the floor is a similarly exotic, elvish-made round carpet with interweaving threads of gold, silver, and black. On the southern wall is a large wooden chest with a lock on it. In the southwestern corner of the room is a walled-off master bathroom with a wash basin on the north wall and a large bowl dipped into the floor for bathing. You are investigating the room for anything of use?
Yeah, I'm gonna go through the chest, the vanity, the desk, any closed drawers. I'm gonna look under the bed. I'm going to.
The chest is locked.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to open it when I'm done with.
I
guess I've got time. I can.
I want to say like that I'm with him going around.
Following Ilo?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'm gonna dig for the key actually.
And I'm using my detect magic.
Okay.
So I'm just like, just looking for stuff.
Sure. You activate your detect magic. And hang on 1 second. I need to check something.
And this is my special invocation that I can just do.
This is Lord and Lady's room, right? Not the room to the right that I was also going to look at? Okay. I figured by all the fine things that were here.
No, you're right.
I can do this all day. I'm just a walking radar.
You do detect that there is magic in the chest. Of a enchantment variety.
Interesting. I don't. Be careful of this chest. That was it. Something coming from inside the chest, or was it like the chest?
Inside the chest.
Okay. There's something inside this chest that is it's magic.
Okay.
I mean, I could try to break the lock, but if you can pick it, that would probably be best.
I was going to try that, but wait, sure. Let me see. I'm gonna try to pick it.
Are you proficient with thieves' tools?
Well, I mean, I was going to use, like, what would I have?
I mean, you could try to like
Trying
brute
to think
force
of
it
all the
open or
things that I
whatnot,
have.
but you could try to pick it if you want. Just if you're not proficient with thieves' tools or anything, then it's going to be a bit harder.
I'm trying to think if I am or not statistically. It doesn't say it on my sheet, but I also don't put a lot of things on my sheet. What is my background? I just wrote seaman, so I have no idea.
Oh, you have the sailor background?
Yeah.
No, definitely not then.
Okay.
I mean, I can use like Eldritch Blast on the lock.
That's fine. I mean, he'll just back up and let you do it.
Yeah,
He doesn't seem too confident at it.
Actually, no. She's gonna she'll walk up. She'll pick up the lock, and I'm gonna use Ray of Frost. So I'm just like gonna freeze the lock over.
Sure. I'm not going to make you roll for it because you're fine. All right. So you spend I'm going to say it probably takes you about a good minute of just constant ice channeling. Eventually, the lock is completely frozen over, and with a quick hit of one of your daggers, it shatters into pieces and snaps off.
Ah.
You flip open the chest and are greeted with quite possibly the most blinding glimmer of money and items that you have seen.
She just like looks down at it, looks at Ilo.
Both of you make an intelligence check.
I'm good at that.
Oh my god, come on.
Do either of you want to use one of your dice?
Um,
Kyle, you have a D8. Neil, you have an 8, a 10, and a 12.
Out of curiosity.
Yes?
We're all so smart.
Yep, so smart.
Oh my god.
oh god, I don't know if I used a 12 if it would even do anything with a 3. So
There, it puts me to 13.
Okay. 13 will actually do it. Kyle used his D... Ooh.
I have
Alright.
a -1 to intelligence.
Shiara, you looking at this chest filled with platinum and gold coins, just doing a quick little bit of calculation in your head based on volume and size of coins and whatnot. You're not positive. You weren't the best at math. You estimate that if most of these are platinum coins, there's probably upwards of 10,000 gold in here.
Yeah.
Oh my god. She like slams it shut.
Right, let's look for the magic in there.
She's just like, "Oh, just give me a moment. That is more money than I could ever imagine."
What are you gonna do? Buy a house? All the houses are empty. Just take a fucking house. Open the thing. I want to see.
she just like opens it back up. That is a lot of stuff. What was magic in here that was catching her?
Are you opening it back up?
Yeah. She like kind of like peeks it back up.
So it looks like there are 2 items that are magical in here. There is what appears to be some sort of set of like goggles that you can wear over your eyes. That look to be made of a strap of leather that goes around the head with an adjustable strap, with a small bit of like silver ring around it with green glass inlaid into it.
Okay.
The other is what appears to be a set of scale mail.
Oh wow.
The set of scale mail looks like it has like weird streaks of what look like yellow across it in like zigzag formations in like a pattern.
Oh. So these goggles are some sort of magic. She'll like toss them to Ilo.
I put them
See
on
what you-
immediately.
Yeah, see.
You
Are
know that my
you-
characters are test dummies.
You're proficient with medium armor, right?
Me?
I'm pretty sure your the sword college gives you medium proficiency.
I don't think it does.
Yeah, I think that was part of what Warlock was gonna do as a multi-class. Otherwise, there'd be no reason to do that. Medium armor. Yeah, medium armor.
So you mean, Neil, we had that whole conversation for absolutely no reason?
Well, the reason is not medium armor. Then proficiency with the shield is the big reason for that cross class. But yes, I do have medium armor proficiency.
Okay. You throw on the scale mail armor. Nothing bad happens. It's a little loose fitting on you, being that you are not.
Oh, I thought he threw the goggles at
I
me.
gave him the goggles.
Oh, you gave him the goggles? Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I'll put both on. If you just want to dress me up in all the dumb things you want to see if kill you before you try them on.
I mean, because I assume that the are like way too big for him.
Hold on 1 second. I need to check something.
I'll just get
Okay.
I'll just get Zai to like cut one of the arms off of the chainmail, and I'll just slither inside there, and it can cut 2 armholes.
Ilo, you put the goggles on and look around. The room seems slightly tinged green. Doesn't seem to do much else as far as you can tell, at least not currently.
Okay.
Do you
I don't know what
see
these do.
Nothing.
It makes
nothing
things
different?
green.
Oh, Well, you might need to keep those. You might need to keep them on for a little. Let the magic, get used to you before something happens. So just keep them on you for a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, I can say that I can take a few guesses at what they are, but I mean, you have to put them to the test before you could know for sure. And since there's this armor, we should probably take that to your friend.
Sure.
It's a suit of scale mail armor.
Clank,
That sounds fancy.
clank, clank.
As far as all of this money, I don't. I mean, I couldn't imagine what to do with all these. Not that I really have.
I don't really have a good concept of money,
I mean,
to be honest.
I don't really have a claim to this. From what you say, you and your friends are the ones who clears this place out. So I have no claim here.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. I'm not really worried about it.
So what are you guys doing? You gonna go
I'm
out
gonna,
to
Kit closed the chest. He clearly doesn't really care about the money that's inside of it.
I mean, like, there's nobody here to steal it, so we don't really have to keep it under lock and key.
and you broke the lock, and there is no
Yeah.
key.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll finish. I guess you're taking the scale mail away. I'm just gonna keep digging around, kind of. He's just playing on his curiosity, really.
I mean, we could probably try to find the key. I can fix but I mean, it's not that big a deal. I'd assume just leave it as is.
Keep it in character.
I mean, Isla doesn't give a single fuck
Yeah.
about the money that's in there. So go ahead and do what you're gonna do with that, because Isla is completely ignoring it. He's just wearing the goggles like an idiot, rummaging around through everything.
She would probably actually like open it up and like grab a handful of platinum pieces and just like put in her personal pouch. while
It's
he's doing
very
that.
clear that Ilo is not really concerned about it. So
All right.
obvious.
She didn't even. It's not even like she didn't even like try to be stealthy. She just kind of like. I mean, if he doesn't mind, then I'm just going to take a few. I mean, I don't really know about what money is like here, so I'm just going to take some.
All right. Shiara, mark down that you have 10 platinum pieces.
Cool. Boom.
Okay. Where are you guys going? What are you doing? What are you buying?
What are you selling? She's just gonna keep, I guess, wandering around using detect magic to see if there's anything that catches her eye.
All right, Ilo.
I'm rummaging through the desk drawers, the vanity drawers, digging through some of the clothes just for fun. He's not as interested in all that.
Make a
But he's
investigation.
definitely going through all the drawers and checking under the bed and
Not you,
that little
Kiara. You ain't looking.
the rope
I mean,
that
I'm
goes
looking around stuff,
outside.
too.
Okay.
He said
I'm
something
not
about
just
a
standing
rope.
there.
Yeah, there's the string that goes. You would remember this because it was literally like 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
The string goes up to the ceiling and then goes through the hall. Amazing. Goes
Like
through
the
the
goggles.
hallway. And you remember seeing that in the butler's room there was a bell attached to the string. So it's most likely this was like
yeah.
like a ring the servant sort of thing.
Neil figured, but
Yeah.
Ilo was gonna fuck with it. I'd say that Ilo's probably distracted with that. He just starts ringing it and having a little bit too much fun.
Yeah, you would pull it, and then like half a second later, you hear down the hallway, ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
He's just laughing with his
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
stupid fucking goggles.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling.
While you pocket money and then continue to do what he was gonna do and look around.
So Shiara, looking around and just kind of going through the drawers, you find a vial containing some sort of brackish, reddish-brown liquid.
Okay. Cool.
You find an additional 15 gold pieces.
Okay.
And you find a comb.
And a comb. Is this like a fancy comb?
It is. It's a wooden comb that seems to have like it's got like metal bristles.
Oh, okay.
But it's got like nice like little silver inlay designed into the handle.
Okay.
Seems kind of nice. Seems
Does it
kind of
look
nice.
like a side comb or like one of those like tall like lady comb looking things that they can like put in
Lady
their hair?
No, not like one of the stupid ass fucking like stab it in your hair and it sits there type shit.
No.
Like an actual like comb your hair.
Right. Okay. Yeah, she kind of looks at it and it's like, ooh. And just drops it in her bag.
There it is.
Okay, cool.
Similar to
Yeah,
that, but a little bit more oomph to it because it's made of.
right.
This is Travis's, by the way, for when he actually has hair.
Yeah, she's gonna she'll use prestidigitation to make it all nice and pretty again. And if it's got any like cracks or anything, she'll essentially she waves her hand into prestidigitation and mending on it to
Makes
make
it all nice and purty.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then she'll put it in her bag.
All right, put down that you have an ornate comb.
Where is my?
I should also mention, it is magical based on your detect magic.
Oh, the comb?
Yep.
Oh, okay.
You don't know what it does because you don't have identify, I assume, but
Nope.
it's magic.
Okay. Yeah, she was like, oh. Okay.
What, you guys didn't think I would give you some magic shit for the fact that you just won a fucking giant-ass keep with the boss fight and all that shit?
The bell is fun, and then I just go dig around in clothes.
I don't get anything because no one's bothered to tell me.
He comes out with a t-shirt on, and his arms are just way too big.
Are you wearing the medium armor, Ilo? The scale mail?
Oh, no, I think he was. I don't
one of the
think I have
clothes.
that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just sticking off in the closet now.
Okay. All right.
I don't think I have the scale mail.
Going over to Yuzai while they're messing around in the keep.
I just hear ding, 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 ding off in the distance.
I don't think it would be that loud that you would hear it, especially not that the fact that you're in the outer courtyard.
That's.
I know, but I wanted to happen.
I know, that would be funny as hell. But it didn't. So you have gathered up a lot of metal scraps from where you can, and you're currently in the blacksmith. There is a small leftover pile of charcoal that you could probably use to get the forge going again. It's not a lot by your guess. You probably only have enough fuel here to keep a fire going for maybe a night, not even. It'd be really pushing it, especially if you're going to be smelting a lot, then it's probably going to burn out long before that.
Can I check the 2 storage buildings? I think one of them is food, but I don't remember which one, and I don't think Sai would either.
Yeah, I mean, there's really not much rolling needed. There was 3 different buildings. There was the warehouse, which was the middle left, the brewery, which was the middle right, which is just south of the blacksmith, and below the south of the brewery was the granary.
Well, definitely the warehouse. The other ones don't sound, you know.
The warehouse doesn't contain any fuel beyond just scrap wood from the planks that make the crates, the barrels. Not really fire material for a forge. You need something that'll burn stronger for longer.
Do these barrels and crates look like they can actually hold anything, or are they just scrap wood at this point?
No, some of them were still in relatively decent condition. They just had very composted, nasty-ass shit in it that really isn't identifiable anymore.
Are there really crappy ones?
Yeah.
Okay, sweet. I want to take some of the really crappy ones, dig a hole, throw it in there, light on fire, and then, like, bury it with just a little bit of air flow to get in. That's how you make charcoal, by the way.
I know. I've watched primitive technology.
Okay. I feel like this is something Zai would know, you know, since he has to run a forge.
Yeah. It's one of those things that your master probably taught you as, like, if you're ever out in the wild sort of thing.
He's like, I don't feel like doing this today. Go make charcoal.
You were a slave.
But it was at least voluntary.
That's
just
what we call indentured servitude.
You're just dumb.
That's why I did it, so I could stop being
yourself.
Yep. All right, so you get some potential charcoal going. What are you doing in the meantime, then?
Well, I have enough that I could, like, start on this, right?
Make a investigation. With advantage because this is your forte.
Well.
Amazing.
Anyway, I have charcoal, so I'm just gonna, like, go for it. Hopefully I have enough.
You start going through the smelting process, trying to get all the impurities out of these the scrap metal and get it into bars. And after it's already smelted down inside of the crucible, you realize, shit, the clay casting for the actual metal is cracked and broken. So you can't actually make bars.
Okay.
You don't actually have any... You don't have any templates to pour any of the material in to make anything, and if you leave it in the crucible, it's probably going to damage the crucible, and it's just going to be a bad time.
Yeah. So I'm gonna leave it in the crucible on the fire, so, like, it stays melted.
Okay.
Then I'm gonna run outside and, like, try to find clay. There should be, like, a clay pit or clay storage somewhere around, because that's generally what you make these kind of casts out of, because you break them when you're done.
Make a survival check.
God.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Looking around, you have no clue where there could be clay. Looking around, seeing if there was any sort of discard area or anything like that. Nothing.
I'm gonna go check the warehouse.
There's nothing in there either.
Oh, this place sucks. I'm just gonna, like, methodically go through every single container in this, looking for anything I could use.
Okay, that's gonna take you a while, but...
It will. There goes half my charcoal.
Alright. Shiara and Ilo.
Yeah.
What up?
Are we convinced that we've gone through this room the best that we can?
Yes, I thought you were just kind of dicking around at that point.
We were. I was.
Alright.
Ilo was because I rolled a bad roll.
Yes, you did.
So
She already
I
found
was
her comb and just like
not a good investigator.
done with the bell. She's just kind of like. Mm-hmm.
There's one room we didn't check. Let me do that real quick. And I'm gonna go check
The other
Okay.
second floor area.
the last room. Yeah.
Okay, I need to pull up my notes again. Get over here. Nope, nope. Freelance. Wait, yes, freelance. Yep, there it is. Where was that? That was. What was that number or letter? Oh? A. Yeah. There it is. So you go up the flight of stairs to the second floor on the right-hand side, and you find yourself in a large rectangular room with very bare furnishings. In the center of the room is a decrepit and worn-away wood table with torn and worn-out scraps of parchment and maps. Across the floor are scattered sheets of paper covered in thick layers of dust. On the east side of the room, along the wall, is a globe with cobwebs coating it. The globe only has the continent you are currently on, but lacks the Lawless Archipelago and Rumrunner Isle. On the southern wall is a bookcase spanning most of the wall. The shelves are empty, save for a few scattered quills and dried-out inkwells.
As we walk in, she's gonna she'll see the globe, and she'll kind of. She's like, as she's going, she's like motioning her hands like this, and it's just like prestidigitation, all this junk, and she like snaps her fingers to like get the lights to light the torches, and then gets to the globe, and it's like, here, look at this. This is what I was talking about. This is the map that I am familiar with.
Yeah, I don't see the island.
Well, it wasn't there. Well, there, it was just nobody had discovered it. I'll take a look at the paper and stuff that's kind of strewn about.
Yeah, I can't read, so this room is useless for me.
Oh my god.
I was pretty much like
Shiara,
not even entering the room, not interested.
Make an investigation.
Investigation. Oh my god.
You picking up the papers that are scattered around the room and just taking a look at them. A lot of the writing is faded and worn away from ages long past. You can't really make out what you can read either. It just doesn't make sense. There's a lot of context missing, and you can't quite put the pieces together. Make a history check. Never mind.
What is with the double, like...
As you were.
Onyx over here with 4s, I'm over here with fucking 8s.
Well,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
do you know if maybe I'm gonna go check the kitchen and see if there's something I can do about food. If you guys have any food ideas, then let me know. But
Oh my goodness, I haven't eaten in 5,000 years.
I guess so.
It occurs to me that maybe I should eat the food.
Yeah. Oh boy. Do you need any help?
Oh no, I'll be okay. I mean, I need help finding food basically. Otherwise, it's kind of just like reheating rations.
Right. I mean, I would say, oh, you just head down to the market and Frank. He is the butcher, but
That's the issue. Yeah.
Frank is the butcher. He's no longer there.
The butcher is there, just not the butcher.
The
The butcher location's there.
Yeah. maybe there's some really refined beef jerky.
Yeah.
Gross.
All right, so you guys go down to the kitchen. What are you doing?
I'm gonna look for anything that after 5,000 years might be edible.
Make
But
an investigation.
I'm gonna look at the tools that are around and rummaging through all the drawers and stuff. I think that's basically it.
All right, give me that
Um,
investigation. Shiara, are you helping?
Yeah. I mean, if he tells me what he's looking for, yeah.
Ilo?
Yeah, I'm pretty much what he said.
All right,
He
then roll with
He
advantage.
does look like he hasn't ever been here, and he looks like...
No, Shiara, not you. Don't roll.
Oh.
You just
oh,
wasted
well,
a crit. That's your damn
Yeah.
fault.
Yeah.
Soiled it. There you go,
Yeah.
Ilo. You did it. All right. So,
by the way, I haven't... what? Investigation? Oh, okay. Never mind. I was going to say I have a -1 investigation.
no, you did good.
But I forget that Bard.
Right.
So it's not a -1.
Yeah, because
That's
you
it.
have Jack of all trades.
Yeah, it's just a natural 19.
All right. So, taking a look through the kitchen along with Shiara's help, there are definitely some utensils still around. There are some spatulas, tongs, a few kitchen knives, some cutlery, some forks, spoons, things of the nature. Pretty much all of it is rusty and generally unusable at the moment. You'd probably have to have Zai try to clean it all up for you.
Right.
Can we bring some clay while you're at it?
There is nothing edible. There is a nasty odor in the storage closet, in the pantry. There's kind of just mush and blech. There is a small pile of wood on the bottom of the pantry. Looks like it's probably fuel for the stove. Your guess, Ilo, is that there's probably enough fuel there to probably run the stove for at least probably a day or two. Your best guess is they probably restocked every day on fuel as they would make meals for the owners, the house lords,
Right.
the residents.
Okay. Well, I think we should maybe go see what Zai wants to do about food. I'm not from here and he is, so maybe he has an idea.
Okay. I mean, what? Now that the keep is cleared out, what was y'all's plan? I mean, surely it
That's a good question.
the few of you.
If only Ilo paid attention to what our plan actually was.
Well, they were going to meet us here.
That was not our plan.
Who is they?
The free company. They were getting kicked out of their other place. Venturing is not really what's, popular at the moment. They don't have many people.
Oh, okay. Well,
So they're getting evicted from one place, coming down here, and we were to clean it out, I think. I don't know.
oh, okay. Well, I don't really have any input on that. I don't know who these people are. But I guess I am just going to follow along with you.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you have any questions, I
have
think
a lot of
everything will be.
questions.
Yeah, I think everything will be fine though.
So, what are you guys doing?
Hitting my headphone.
We're pretty beaten up and tired.
Wasn't
So I
someone
don't-
coming to find me?
Yes, we were.
Okay. So you guys make your way back out into the outer courtyard where you can hear... Well, actually, no, you don't really hear anything. You do see a small pillar of smoke rising from the blacksmith.
Yep. go in there.
You go into the blacksmith, and you don't see Zai in there.
I thought I was going through all the things in here.
I thought you were going through in the warehouse.
Oh,
Unless I misunderstood.
I think I was doing it in here.
Oh, alright. You walk into the blacksmith, and you see Zai, like, basically up to his chest, like, in a barrel, like, digging around in the bottom. There's trace dust of clay in the bottom of this barrel, Zai. It's like, fuck, there's, like, if I could just get more, there's, like, powder, I see it, it's red, it's right there.
You got dirt on your hands. Let me clean that. And I prestidigitize it.
Anyway, I like jump a little bit. You know, my head's in the barrel, and Isla started talking right next to me. Yes, and that happens. And then like rubbing my head. Isla, didn't see you there. You didn't happen to see any clay on your way here, did you?
Clay?
Yeah.
No. Why?
Because the casts are broken, and I need to fix them or make new ones.
I don't know what that means.
I need clay, and then I can pour things in, and it makes shapes.
I don't know. Look, goggles.
I look at the goggles.
They're goggles.
There is
Yeah.
the suits of armor as well.
Armor? I like armor.
It was up in the Lord and Lady's chest with a significant amount of money.
There's a lot of money in there.
It was a lot of money.
What kind of armor was it?
She'll hold it up. It's some sort of scale mail. It's very nice.
You notice I just looks like dejected. It's like, just medium armor, whatever. Well, and then he looks back. He looks back at it a second time. Huh? This looks pretty well made.
Considering it's 5,000 years old, it's still in perfect condition.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. It's in one piece. That's pretty well made.
I mean, I can't really tell you what it does, but there's something magical about it. Are those in the goggles too?
Do I see any like runic inscription or anything on it, or is it just like inherently magical?
It's just enchanted magical.
Okay, I will know nothing about it then. Shiar, on your way here, did you happen to see like any clay or anything? You know, anything I can use for a cast or a mold?
I didn't, but
Make a intelligence check, Shara.
God damn it.
Never mind, as you were.
I've got enough wood to keep a fire in the kitchen for a day or two.
I need charcoal. It burns hotter.
No, I don't know. I was going to say, if you're hungry, I don't know what there is to eat around here.
I mean, I think we still have some rations left from our trip.
Yeah. Extra now, I guess.
oh,
Nah, Shiar has to eat something. I hand her a thing of rations.
she like looks at it, kind of like grabs it, turns around, and just devours it.
I'm gonna prestidigitize it to be not gross.
Shara, this is some damn good rations. This isn't like that regular jerky. This is like that artisanal fancy ass jerky you buy in a Whole Foods. Not that I would know or anything.
I wait a second for her to finish stuffing her face.
Yeah, she turns back around. She's like, "Oh,
You said you knew magic, right?
I know some magic. Yes,
You know anything like sending?
sending like across
Yeah,
large
wait.
distances."
Yeah, way to talk across a long way. That's what we were supposed to do when we cleared out the key, but Faith is kind of gone, and
Oh,
yeah.
goodness.
Oh,
I
yeah,
can't-
I forgot about that. Shit! That's hilarious. That was an unintended side effect.
It's okay, we had the backup plan of them just showing up and hoping we were good in like 2 weeks.
Holy shit, that's amazing. Guys, I lost my cell phone.
Great. God damn it. I'm gonna guess you don't know because that would be too convenient.
So she looks at you, and you hear in your head, "I can do things like this, but not over a long distance."
I'm gonna meta that to mean you know message.
This is not message.
Just telepathy then? Okay.
Yeah, I've got some telepathy stuff.
Okay.
It's like I can talk to you in your head, but
I'm just gonna like say out loud because I don't know how telepathy works. I feel like I'm pulling a raw. Well, if it doesn't work over long distance, I don't think that's gonna be much help.
no, I can't do that over long distances. I mean, maybe like one day, but I have it. It's going to take time.
Well, we're just gonna have to hope Faith shows up. If she doesn't, then they'll show up in like 2 weeks anyway. So,
2 weeks, okay.
so you sure you don't have any idea at all where any clay is?
I mean, have you checked like one of the storage buildings over here?
Well, there's a warehouse. It seems like all the stuff in there is kind of worthless, though.
I mean, that's only my guess. Is maybe some storage places. I mean, I can't say I'm very familiar with how blacksmithing works, so I wouldn't really know where to.
Well, are you busy right now?
She just like looks around like. I actually need to go home and do some chores real quick.
Ah ha ha! You're so funny. Well, if you don't have anything better to do, you could kind of organize what's in the warehouse, or at the very least, try to figure out what's there. Seems like we're gonna be here for a while.
That is fine.
I mean, if
Don't
you
you
want to,
have-
you could. If you want to, you could join the free company too, since they're gonna be moving in here. And I figured you're not gonna want to leave your home and all. Like,
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I mean, I have no reason not to, but you know, we'll see what happens.
So, unless there's anything else, I would like to do a bit of a time skip.
I'm looking for clay.
I'm
Make-
just prestidigitizing everything.
Let me
For
look at
2
my
weeks.
timeline here. Make 3... Wait. Yeah. Make 3 survival checks.
3 survival check.
Sound good enough? Or do I need a third one?
Keep going.
Okay.
Is that just from him or?
Just from him, unless one of you is helping him find clay in the next 3 days.
Yeah, I would have helped him.
Yeah, I felt like. something
Alright,
was
so
up
then,
for-
roll 3 more times.
Wow.
Okay, still only 1 day. So on the first day, you search around and you're able to find actually a small deposit of clay kind of digging around in the bluff. It's not a big deposit, but it's enough that you could probably make 1 or 2 casts out of. So like you could make a cast of an ingot, and you can make a cast of like a hilt or a blade, just the blade itself. Things like that. You basically need a cast for each of the different types of objects you would forge.
I'm making ingots so I could like try to fix up the plate now.
Okay. So you spend the next 3 days using the clay, shaping it into a ingot. What was the word? I just had it. I just used it.
Cast?
That was it. Thank you. Jesus Christ! I just had a brain fart. You make a cast of an ingot, and are able to then create individual ingots of the metal. At least you have enough fuel to go for probably like a day's worth of smelting. But during that time, you could probably get through most of the scrap metal you've got.
Okay. So now, how's my charcoal doing?
That's using the charcoal you were making.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I want to like go rummage around like the barracks, as you said, all the stuff was in there was rotting. Plus, the door and the windows are broken, so there's more wood I can make more out of.
Okay. Yeah, you probably have enough resources there. You could probably make another like day or two's worth of charcoal.
Sweet. This is the worst smithing ever.
I know, having to do it all survival style.
But I still have like a master level quality forge.
Right. Shiara and Ilo, what are you guys doing in your 3-day downtime?
I feel like Shiara's counting money. I'm rich.
Yeah, she might actually do that. She might actually get.
I could just take this and walk away. They don't know. Disappear into the wild.
Man. Because Shiara wouldn't know. Yeah, she wouldn't know the closest place.
I feel like Ido's probably just attuning to random magic items.
I should... Actually, that is a very good point. Who is attuning to what from the items?
I haven't taken the dumb goggles off.
Okay.
Yeah, Shiara's got the comb.
Okay. What about the armor?
I think Ido still has that too.
I never had the armor.
Did
in that case, Shiara.
Yeah, unless Shiara is giving it to Ilo.
Yeah, if you didn't take it, then she would have given it to Ilo.
Okay. Well, I guess I have two things that I... Is the armor, like, wearable?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pristine. Like, it has not been damaged.
No, I am very small.
I mean, if it attunes to you, then it resizes.
Yep.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, if you offer it to him, then yeah, he'll say that he could move around in it fine, and he'll comment that it's a bit noisy, but he'll take it if y'all are giving it to him.
Okay. So you attune to the magic items that you got. Shiara, you realize that this is a comb of favoritism. You can brush your hair with it, and it will change whatever color you want it to be.
Oh, okay.
So you can brush your hair, and it'll turn whatever color you want your hair to be. It doesn't actually take up a attunement slot.
Okay.
It's considered to be a common magic item.
It's good that the only person in the party that has hair attuned to that.
It's true.
Oh my god.
I have hair occasionally.
Oh no.
God.
Ilo, you realize from attuning to these two magic items that the goggles are goggles of night. Yep. You actually realize the first night when you're wearing them, you can actually see a lot further in the dark than you used to be able to.
I'm glad you get the dark vision goggles.
Anybody who doesn't have dark vision that wears them gets dark vision up to 60 feet, and if you don't have, or if you do have dark vision, it increases it by an additional 60. The armor is scale mail armor of lightning resistance.
Whoa.
That requires attunement, but it gives you resistance to lightning damage.
Okay.
I kind of get the feeling Ilo's never going to mention these goggles ever again.
No, I'm as soon as I realize what they are, I will offer them up to either of you who can't see in the dark and explain to you what they do.
Wait,
Yeah.
what race is Shiara?
I'm a half elf. I have, through my stuff, I have dark vision so I do not need them.
Okay.
I have dark
Kyle,
vision.
get your mic closer to your mouth. You were cutting in and out.
60?
I have 120 foot
Let me
dark
double
vision.
check my dark.
You have
I
dark
do
vision
not need
60,
that.
Ilo. It's on your character
Okay.
sheet.
I know, but I like to double check it because Cobalt stuff is not in Roll20. I had to do that all by myself, so I like to double check myself.
Yeah, I get you. So yeah, those are the three magic items you guys got. On the third day, as
That's...
Shiara and Ilo, and we'll say Zai, all three of you are sitting in the dining hall. I assume you guys spent some time kind of prestidigitating the keep, kind of cleaning up the cobwebs, the dust, and getting things at least a little bit nicer.
Yeah.
And I'll give the goggles to you if you will take them.
I will definitely take them, especially if you say they let me see in the dark.
They do that.
Okay.
That is what they do.
So each of you has a magic item now. You are sitting at the table, at the dining room table, and just kind of having a very warm, reheated rations breakfast. Or we'll say lunch that Ilo has made. It's about midday. And as the three of you are sitting there relaxing, you all hear outside of the keep what sounds like a...
The fuck?
I want to run up onto one of the walls.
Zai, make me a... Actually, no. Fuck it. You're running up to one of the walls?
So I can see.
Alright, you run up to one of the front-facing walls and, one of the walls or the tower?
Whichever one lets me see further.
That would be one of the towers. The towers have windows facing in all directions.
Okay, towers.
You run to the nearest tower and look around, and not very far in the distance, coming up the bluff, it looks like they circumvented the city and just went up the bluff itself. You see what appears to be a small gathering of maybe 75 people. All of them appear to be wearing patch hide armor.
Can I see what weapons they're holding?
They are holding shields that have sharpened stone edges sticking out of them. Zai, you recognize these as the Tribe of the Bulwark. They're a very eclectic group of barbarian of tribesmen. Give me a history check with advantage.
Crit.
Oh.
You remember a lot about these people. Your tribe, the Tribe of the Glaives, has had dealings with them before. They're very, very traditional, very sticking to the old ways. They're not really open to any sort of suggestions. Like any younger folk that show any inclination to worshiping nature as opposed to lack of worship at all, usually are either exiled or beaten the shit out of until they stop. Their chosen weapon is a shield. They basically make these wooden shields themselves and embed stone spikes with sharp edges all around the shields, and use them both as a way to defend themselves as well as to attack by slicing enemies after they've blocked. It's a very brutal style. It's a very painful and bloody way to die. They're one of the smaller tribes. They're not quite as big as yours or some of the other ones. But they're still to be respected. You can see that they are currently making their way in no real, militaristic order. It's a scattered tribe. They're just kind of in a mash of people making their way up this bluff towards you. Towards the keep.
Like towards the wall or a gate?
The wall. Because the gate is not fixed. It's a giant wooden gate that nobody has been able to fix because it's very heavy and you don't have the resources.
So are they planning to climb over the wall?
No, there's a archway. That's how you got in.
Oh, okay. So I'm gonna go stand in the archway.
I'm gonna stand on your shoulders.
I'm gonna make my glaive necklace an actual glaive and stand there, waiting.
Chiara?
She doesn't know what's happening.
Didn't hear anything you just said.
She doesn't know what's happening, but she follow.
But she'll follow behind. Okay.
Yeah, you're cutting out a
She's
little
like-
bit there as well.
She's just like, what's going on? What are we doing?
I have no
Well,
idea.
seems like the Tribe of the Bulwark is here. They're very traditional. Probably not super happy that we're in the keep. That's kind of against the rules.
Well, they're in the keep too now. They break their own rules.
Yeah. I feel like we're probably about to have a pretty interesting conversation.
You stand in the entryway of this wall at the edge of the outer courtyard and watch as this group of tribesmen make their way up this hill towards you. And I think that's a pretty good place for us to call it tonight.
I want to like give my whole string of titles that I've been keeping track of this whole time.
I'm glad you have.
It's so long now.
I can't wait next week for you to unveil it. So, with all that being said, we are going to go around and find out where we can find everybody online, find out what everybody's favorite part of tonight was, and then we're going to call it quits for the night. So, Kyle.
You can find me on Twitter at RageQuitKyle. I haven't been online.
You just cut out so much, Kyle.
I don't know why it's cutting out.
You should probably talk to it at like 2 inches from your mouth. That's what I'm doing. No, that's like 0 inches.
You can find me on Twitter at RageQuitKyle. And I think my favorite part was just the weird shit with Faith.
I have
We need our cell
plans.
phone back.
I have plans for Faith.
We need our cell phone back.
You used to call me
Oops.
on my cell phone.
Oh God.
Late night when I need your God.
We're gonna have a real interesting conversation when they get here. It's like, yeah, Eli died and we lost Faith.
I think she's just buried in sand outside. All that sand went somewhere. She's just buried in it.
Well, no, Zai said that he saw Faith running into the city after the sandstorm.
Yeah.
All right, Ilo or Neil. I don't know who you are anymore.
You can find me on Twitter at Bardic Martin, and I enjoyed showing everyone my nipples over and over and over.
You don't have
Amazing.
any, but they're colored in with Sharpie.
Yeah, no, but I don't have any. I should have said chest, but nipples is funnier to say, so I said that.
I thought you were gonna say that the bell was your favorite part.
Yeah, the bell was just him very true to what he is, being very sidetracked by dumb shit.
Uh-huh. And Onyx.
Yep. You can find me on Twitter at OnyxQWE very occasionally. And my
Never.
favorite part, I'm on there very occasionally. My favorite part was probably talking with Shiara and learning all about like the past of how the city worked, and putting some pieces together. Like, oh, there were gods, but not Brightsteel, and now there's Brightsteel and no gods.
There's 10,000 worth of gold in this chest. Look at his mouth.
No one ever told me that there was more than just like, oh yeah, there's some money up there as well. It's like, oh, okay, whatever. No one said there's 10,000 gold.
I mean, I said there was a significant amount.
I don't know what significant means. It's like 100,
Wow.
okay. 100 is the significant amount.
We should have a discussion at some point about whether we're gonna alert the free company to the fact that that gold exists.
Hey guys, we found 7,000 gold in a chest upstairs.
Yeah,
I mean,
we found
I'm
20 gold. Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that money to fix the place up. So.
That is true. We have to save up money for our city builder game.
The thing is, all right, so little peek behind the DM screen here. The idea behind that I have anyway is that money is essentially
Shocking.
if you guys want to go the route of you take a bit more control of the city building aspect of managing the keep and helping to manage the guild and whatnot, that is up to your characters / up to you guys. If you would rather offer that to Dalus as a, you run the guild, you run the keep and everything, we're just in it to do whatever it is you need us to, that's fine. You guys can do that, and the resources are going to get allotted as I think Dalus would do.
I personally would like to do a whole lot of that stuff, but at the same time, I don't want it to take like all the time and not do anything else.
It can be as much or as little as you want it to be. If you want to be super involved, you can. If not, then it's your calls.
Again, personally, I want to do it all, but at the same time, I don't want like Neil and Kyle through that.
Keep in mind, too, one thing that we can do is because there is going to be some downtime between adventures and things that you guys do. So we can always talk about resource allotment during the downtime off stream, and then give a recap on stream.
Right.
So
I like that idea.
if 2 weeks pass by, I'll say to you guys, all right, what are you guys doing during the 2 weeks? And then you can say, well, for the 2 weeks, Zai is going to use X amount of money from the guild funds to get whatever resources for the forge. Ilo can say that he's going to go get some food supplies. Buy a bunch of bells.
Are we by the ocean?
You're not that far. I mean, it's
I can make a docks.
a couple
Does
hours.
the city...
Well, no,
that's how we're gonna be. That's how we're. So it's well. I mean, we need some kind of a post on the ocean where we can trade, because I'm imagining we're not gonna trade
It's
solely by
about-
land, being that we're a bit secluded down here.
It's about a 4-hour, 3-hour walk to the shore.
That's not far at all.
Yeah, so no, if you have like a horse, like a wagon or some sort of setup like that, it probably won't take you that long to get from the city to the ocean. So you could absolutely do something like that.
We're gonna need to do that to be able to trade with Uthdir and the Lawless
Archipelago.
Archipelago?
We're
I
gonna
really
need
want to get
that
into
for
this, so we
trade.
have to do it later, otherwise we're never going to leave.
Right,
Yeah.
those are things that we'll talk about off stream because there are a lot of interesting implications with that sort of stuff. Yeah, so stuff like that. Shiara, if Shiara wants to try to spend some of the money to slowly restore some of the city's buildings, or perhaps Shiara's own home.
I did promise the water god.
There is that, the temple, which you promised to repair, which is, that's gonna be a lot of money.
Yeah, but I'd rather not, like, curse myself by promising something than not doing it.
That's your own damn fault.
I feel like that was completely in character.
Oh, I know. That's your own damn fault, though.
I started just talking to all the gods, because, why not?
Sure, why not? Alright,
I was
so...
showing everyone my nipples to get the answers that I needed.
Even the gods.
Strip.
Even the gods.
Um,
What is this?
As for myself, you can find me on Twitter at @arch_DND. You can also find me running the Lucky Die Podcast Twitter, which is at TLDpod. If you don't listen to TLD, go listen to it because it's amazing. And I love it, and it's my baby. God, my favorite part was honestly all of it. I know I say that a lot, but I'm enjoying the fact that we're back, we're playing, now all of this lore and stuff that's going on, I get to put in front of you guys and see how you react to it. It's kind of like lab testing where it's like, and if I do this thing, I wonder what they're going to react to it as. How is this going to happen? It's very interesting.
We react by never going on another adventure, just city building for the rest of the game.
Amazing.
Next 16 episodes. How can we restore the city?
If you want, I
Guess we'll find out next time in Ivy Bridge Restoration Club.
TLD Farmville.
All right. That
D&D
being said,
Farmville. I said TLD. I meant D&D.
Uh-huh.
The 3 fucking characters. I'm sitting here. I'm about to upload the episode, so I'm sitting here looking at TLD in my files. Damn it!
you broke it.
Nailed it.
All right. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you to those of you watching on the YouTubes. And until next week.
I can wave.
You can
Yeah.
wave now.
OMG.
Jazz hands.
That was my favorite part of the episode.
Seeing Onyx's
Wait.
face.
Me
Being
existing.
able to wave at the
I don't
Yeah.
think Kyle's ever seen me before.
Nope.
I saw a picture.
Oh, on
of
Twitter.
You
Oh, that's true.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the D&D pictures. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm ending the stream.